That is extra content afoot. Haha. Hello, Viper Snake. Good day. Oh my gosh. So yeah, I'm gonna get right to it. It's gonna be a somewhat short stream today. Hey, that's fine. Cause I want to like yeah, I'm hoping you know, some good stuff is streamed later tonight by other streamers. Looking forward to one particular one. All right, I'm gonna get down to it. Yesterday, I beat the Great Ace Attorney Adventures, and I loved it. Absolutely loved it. And man, I'm like, what's wrong with me? Why didn't I freaking play them as soon as they came out? When the collection came out, I'm like, but yeah, I already mentioned. I just didn't have any motivation. I couldn't be damned. I couldn't be bothered. I kept playing the same stuff. I was in backlog hell, but now here I am. I'm glad. And I cannot wait to play the second game next month. Great Ace Attorney 2 Resolve. I think that's what it's called. Great Ace Resolve. Yeah, the Great Ace Attorney 2 Resolve. Yeah, that's next month. I'll do that in the middle of July, somewhere in there. All right, so today I'm going to be doing something called the Escapades. So I had mentioned this yesterday, but I'm going to mention it again. So, following the initial release of the game on 3DS, weekly DLC was released in the style of a magazine called Rants Magazine, which features Herlock Sholmes stories in game. Three weekly DLC releases each contain bonus content, such as 3DS themes, previously cut music, and voice clips, and concept art featuring commentary. They also each contain an escapade, a short side story that takes place during the course of the main game. DLC packs for the 3DS version of the game was released for 300 yen each. That was back then. But in the Chronicles release of the game, which I have been playing, extra content is included in the base game, and it can be accessed via the special contents option in the main menu. And then if, I mentioned this, of course, the other day, yesterday. If all the escapades are completed, the player is awarded with an accolade as well as an achievement trophy in the Steam PS4 releases. The escapades should be completed after the main game in order to avoid spoilers, which I did. But their titles and oh yeah, okay, I got the titles and basic premises. All right, this is cool. This is great. Like, I'm actually super excited. And yeah, I looked up to see how long each episode is. It's about like 15 minutes each episode. And then on average, well, not on average, I looked it up. It's going to take me about like 2 hours to whip through it all. So, hey, that's cool. And that's perfect for me, like for today. Because, yeah, tomorrow is going to be nice. I'm going to do something special. I'll be streaming something tomorrow. I'll be streaming on Father's Day in case anybody's interested. But if not, it's cool. I understand if y'all want to do something with your dads or your father figures in your life. Or, not at all. Because, hey, just like with Mother's Day, you don't need a specific day to tell and show how much you love your dad each and every day. Like you could like your mom and dad, and this goes for that other commercial holiday, Valentine's Day. You don't need to tell your significant other or need a day on how much you love them. But sorry, I didn't mean to get all, mushy or sentimental or anything like that. Anywho, let us play the escapades. Yep, just gonna do the escapades. Maybe I'll check out the other content. As in, wait, did it just full screen on me again? I don't get this game sometimes. Whenever I'm not capturing this game, it saves my settings. But now, yeah, I don't get it. I will never understand this collection. Oh, cool. I left off. at the last cutscene of the game where we were seeing Susato off when she goes to Japan. All right, hang on. I gotta go to this again. Unbelievable. All right, now please, for the love of all that is sacred and holy, save my settings. Yeah, again, this only happens when I capture this particular collection. Mwah. Let me see. Okay. Oh, interesting. All right. Okay. Okay, everybody. Here goes. And I can just, and this is cool. I guess I could just like, I don't have to do much gameplay, really. I just get to just narrate from my understanding. Like these aren't just like straight up like I'm just watching episodes basically, which is cool. All right, here goes. Escapades. Play some short extra episodes. All right, we shall do that. All right, here goes. Episode 1 in the defendant's antechamber. The Rants Magazine. Episode 1 in the defendant's antechamber. In the first of 8 escapades, Renosuke finds 2 troublemaking witnesses from his earlier trial having a battle of words in the defendant's antechamber, leading to a real tongue lashing. Oh boy. You're about to play the escapade entitled Episode 1 in the defendant's antechamber. This escapade includes spoilers about the first game's story. Okay, listen, I already read ahead of time, about information about the escapades. All of these messages are not going to bother me at all because I played through the entirety of the first game. So, enough of that. (22nd November, 3:08 p.m. Supreme Court of Judicature, Defendant's Antechamber. Judicature? Hold up. I want to make sure. Okay, I was pronouncing it correctly. Judicature. Oh my god. Just look at my priceless treasure now. Myself, I have scrubbed and scrubbed. Oh wow, it's this dude. But the repellent odor of meat will never be repelled from its resplendent surface again. But you have it back in your possession at least. You should be grateful, old man. How dare you? Excuse me, but I'd just like to get at that Zabuton cushion there, if I could. Ah. Rest assured, you miserable military malefactor. This is not over. Incarceration awaits those who would defraud a senior citizen for his priceless treasures. Watch your tongue, old man. Mark my words, I won't. Sorry, Sergeant, but could I just get at that Zabuton cushion there as well? Oh. I won't go to jail. Never. Imagine if I did. The very next day, my boy would starve without the chain of command in place to provide for him. Oh. Using a child to protect yourself? Myself? I call that abstinent cowardice. Oh, really? And who just employed the old poor defenseless senior citizen tactic, The only way to fight an enemy who's using underhand tactics is with a tit-for-tat strategy. Sorry to interrupt again, but I just need to get at that Western-style cushion there on the sofa. Enough of this insubordination! What do you want, man? Oh, please, don't mind me. Aha! Do my eyes deceive me, or is this the wide-eyed criminal from the trial before? Wide-eyed, perhaps, but criminal, no. What is this unhealthy fascination you exhibit with the seating arrangements of others, Why were you peering under the cushion of this upholstered seat? Oh, well, the thing is, any luck? Did you find it? Any luck? Did you find it? No, sadly not. I don't think it's here, Kazuma. You really are a liability, Rinosuke. Report! At once! Have you lost something? Is that it? Yes, we were just on our way to a party to celebrate my friend's victory here, when I realized that my university pin badge was missing. A university pin badge, you say? Yes, from my collar here, you see? Affirmative. Uniforms must be kept in prime condition at all times. A missing badge is unacceptable. I thought if I looked around, it would probably turn up somewhere. Like the old tale of the Koban coin and the steak. A parable of which I am acutely aware. But I've exhausted my search now, really. The only logical conclusion is that someone must have stolen it. Don't look at me. I just don't find any old metal objects irresistible, you know? Imagine what would happen if little Trooper Ido here swallowed something like that. I'm afraid we'll have to give up, Rinosuke. Still, if you tell the office your student number, they should be able to issue you with a new one. About that. What's the matter? Don't tell me. Yes, I don't remember my student's number. I don't believe it. I mean, this is the second time you've lost your badge, isn't it? Third, actually. Oh my god. If you didn't think you could remember it, you should have made a note of it somewhere. I told you that until I was blue in the face the last time this happened. Uh-oh. Ah, yes. I do seem to remember someone telling me something along those lines. It was you, was it? You can't even remember who told you that you needed to remember it? Well, student numbers are 6 digits, Kazuma. Who could remember 6 whole digits? Yume isn't exactly a long-established university, you know. All of our numbers are still rather low. In fact, they only use the last 3 digits. Well, that might help, I suppose. That might help? Rinosuke, it's only 3 digits. You needed to remember. Just 3. Sorry, my brain is such a disappointment. Yes, well, anyway, young man, myself, I was greatly impressed with you in the courtroom today. Oh, you mean me? A lawyer already before you've even graduated, and such a loyal friend to this one. This one? What's that supposed to mean? Oh no, I still have much to learn. In fact, that was brought home to me in no uncertain terms only last year. My Achilles heel was spectacularly exposed by my best friend here. Indeed? What? By me? This is the first I've heard about it. Yes, by Renosuke Naruhodo. You can't have forgotten, surely. It was last summer, at the speech contest. The speech contest? Oh, that. Contestants had to take to the stage and deliver a public address on any subject they chose. We were competing to give the most compelling and powerful speech. And yours was great. It made a huge impression on the audience. Obviously, since I was a budding student of law, I was determined to win. And sure enough, one by one, my opposition fell. When I reached the final at last, I came up against you. Yes, you did. Yes, so you did. Not being rude, but when I first laid eyes on you, I thought to myself, this cheeky, wide-eyed no-hoper's out of his depth. He's going to be a pushover. That's your version of not being rude, is it? Well, I paid for my complacency because it brought on that humiliating defeat. Complacency. Okay. A feeling of quiet, secure satisfaction with oneself or one's current situation. While it brings a sense of combat, it can become dangerous because it often leads to a lack of effort, vigilance, or awareness of potential risks and problems. Defeat? How are your ranks compromised? My speech was going very well. I had the audience in the palm of my hand. They hung on my every word. And then, when I came to the very last line... Yes? What happened at the very last line? It was supposed to be a climatic end. Unfortunately, I completely fouled it up. Never! You mean you stumbled on your words? Spectacularly. Even now, I can't believe I ruined it. Well, what on earth did you say, man? Renosuke, you better say it. I still can't get my tongue around it. Sure, of course. I can still recall it perfectly. What you said at the end of your speech, or rather, what you intended to say at the end of your speech, was this. So arise, ladies and gentlemen, and applaud our forefathers' plight, and the flight for filial piety. What? Filial. The relationship duties or feelings of a child towards their parents. Okay. Piety. Filial piety. Devoutness, reverences, and dutiful devotion to God or religious principles. Okay. And the fight for filial piety. 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 Filial piety. And what went wrong? What indeed? Myself, I see no problem with the pronunciation of these paltry words. In that case, old man, I invite you to say it yourself. Very well then, I shall. Ahem, ahem. So arise, ladies and gentlemen, and applaud our forefathers' plight in the flight. The fight for filial piety. It's impossible! The arise, ladies and gentlemen part I delivered perfectly. But the next part had me floundering for a whole 5 minutes. By the end of it, I was on my knees in front of the podium, a blabbering mess. And that's when the audience started to heckle you. Arise, arise, they were shouting. Hell on earth! But then, of course, this man went and delivered his word-perfect speech with a perfect ending. How did it go again? Let me see. So, my dear fellows, the message is simple. Treat your father and mother with respect. Something like that. I mean, talk about stating the obvious. The fact is, I lost to that speech. Tongue-tied is the only way to describe it. Well, it is quite tricky to say, I agree. That final flight for filial piety, especially. And ever since that day, I've had this question whirling around in my head. Why did our forefathers choose such an awkward phrase? Was it to mock their children? I mean, it should never have been called filial piety in the first place. Urgh. At least you're going to Great Britain soon. It might not come up much there. Well, anyway, having lost that accursed contest, I came after you to ask you a question. How is it that you never trip up on your words? I inquired. And you just gave me a broad smile and said, speaking fast is my hobby. I mean, really? What kind of a hobby is that? Do you think you could take your hand off of your sword? Besides, it's just a way to pass the time. After that, you started talking at me, 10 to the dozen, like you were possessed, almost. Honestly, you can't imagine the shock I suffered that day. You really can't. You're right, I really can't. Speaking fast is just the sort of hobby I expect a civilian like you to waste his time on. Well, you have to practice, of course, but there are some simple things to start with. Like this famous one, for example. Swift samurai swords swipe silently sideways. Ah, yes, even a decrepit tongue and an ailing frame such as mine can find its way around that one. I've no doubt. It's just a bit of fun, really. I can't imagine anybody would struggle to say it. Isn't that right, Kazuma? With Swamurai sword. Ah! A blabbering mess, my word, too. It's not just a samurai. Every good soldier needs to be able to handle a sword. That's why I've been busy teaching Idol the finer points of swordplay. None of this wordplay nonsense, Private. Come to think of it, not long after that, we started to attend lectures together, didn't we? And we got into that debate about family values at the sukiyaki place on campus. Do you remember? Yes, your argument was full of jokes and puns and wordplay as usual. I remember it well. Oh, was it? In any case, I swore that I would never let myself forget the shock you gave me back then. And as a symbol of how we seriously and as a symbol of how seriously I took that oath, I decided to wear this, my red Hachimaki headband. Yeah, like this one. Sorry, Kazuma. Yes, you've lost me there. I'm afraid I don't see the link. What does your red headband have to do with your oath? Because it will always remind me of that smug look on your face as you uttered those tantalizing words. What words? You need another tongue twister? I practiced and practiced until my tongue bled, but in the end, I mastered it. Oh my god. Mastered what? Well, I think it's time you heard this, actually. Listen carefully now. Here goes. Red headband. Lead headband. Dead headband. There. Word perfect, yeah? See? Red headband, headband, dead headband. I'd actually been meaning to ask you about that. About the story behind your headband, I mean. Well, now you know, so that I'll never forget the shock and humiliation of that day. That's why I wear this red headband every single day without fail. Well, I don't know exactly how much of a shock you think you had back then, but It can't be more than the shock you've just given me now. What do you mean? Well, I'm sorry I have to tell you, but the tongue twister I said didn't go the way you seem to have remembered it. Huh? It's just as famous as Swift Samurai Swords. So I can't believe you don't know it, really. It goes red bread pan, lead bread pan, dead bread man. Wait, what? Bad red pan. Ugh. It seems I've knocked some wind out of that headband of yours. It's not too late, Private. You can always start wearing a red bread pan on your head instead. Your youthful vigor is manifest, young man. Your cheeks are glowing redder than your hachimaki. Why do so many words have to be so similar? Because, Kazuma, it's like I say sometimes. Words are hard. So, looking forward to Great Britain then, where you'll have to deliver speeches in court in English. I suppose. I can always seashell. I suppose I can always shell seashells on the seashore. He sells seashells by the seashore. That was funny. Cool, so that was episode 1. And now for episode 2. Episode 2 in a first class cabin. In this second escapade, it transpires that another crime was committed aboard the SS Burdia. The stakes are high as Sholmes and Stroganoff pursue the culprit, but there's more to the crime than meets the eye. Oh wow. Hey, we're on episode 2 now of the Escapades. 6 January, 8:20. Oh, excuse me. 6 January, 6:23 p.m. SS Burdia, first class cabin number 1. It's almost 2 weeks now since we left Japan. I can't believe how quickly time has gone. So our next port of call will be Shanghai. Oh, 3 knocks. Who's there? Who could it be at this hour? A detective. A detective? Who? A great detective. Oh no, I don't get it. What's a great detective? If you would just be so kind as to open the door. Oh yes, sorry, of course. Oh my god. Kazuma meets with Herlock. Is something wrong, detective? Are you investigating a case? Wherever a great detective goes, great cases occur. Indeed, I am the root of all evil. Oh no. And it's this track. Every time I hear this track, I think of that damn Magnus McGilded, which I hope he is really burning in hell. Yes, I wish that on a fictional character, but he really was bad. Magnus McGilded was a freaking scumbag. Wherever a great detective goes, great cases occur. Indeed, I am the root of all evil. So sorry? Then I don't think I want you in my cabin. Under our very noses, on this steamship, a terrible death has just occurred. What? You noticed, I presume, the brief power failure a short while ago? Oh yes, the power couldn't have been out for more than 10 minutes though. Indeed. Yet, that was ample time for this wicked crime to be perpetrated. I see. Well, clearly it's a case that needs investigating. Precisely. The culprit ran away in this direction, down the first-class cabin passageway here. Really? The thief came this way. I'm quite sure of it. It may have escaped the attention of the dim-witted crew, but not of the great detective. To that end, I would be obliged if you would allow me to investigate here in this cabin. Well, how curious. Is there some reason why it would inconvenience you to have your cabin searched? Inconvenience me? Well, I'd be lying if I said no. After all, there's a stowaway in that wardrobe right over there. If it's just me in here, you see, no one else. It's just me in here, you see, no one else. So you might perhaps want to focus your attention on one of the other first-class cabins. As it happens, you are the only first-class passenger at present. The other cabins are vacant. Oh. A groaning sound. Did that rather tragic rumbling of the stomach arise from within you, my good fellow? Of course, as I said, I'm the only person in here. It's not long until dinner time now, so perhaps we could do this afterwards. I do apologize, sir, but it is of the first importance that the investigation is not delayed. Now, if you'll excuse me. Wait, where did he go? Uh-oh. How did he suddenly move all the way over there? Yes, without a doubt, if the culprit were to be hiding in this cabin, it would have to be inside this wardrobe. I shall need to examine this wardrobe thoroughly. I presume you have no objection? I'm sorry, but I'm going to have to decline. Really, you won't find any... Achoo! Achoo! Oh no. Kazuma, quick! Did those two rather tragic sneezes arise from your good self? Of course they did. As I said, I'm the only person in here. You have a curious knack of talking while sneezing then. Twice, no less. This is going to be a tough one, aren't you? I was watching you quite intently, sir, and I assure you, I saw no signs of a sneeze. Couldn't Renosuke have held his nose? As I was saying, I shall need to examine this wardrobe. We've had it now, then. The game's up. Oh no. Click Krieg. Nobody hiding in there, it seems. What? What? You seem surprised. No, not at all. Yes, I am. He was in there for sure. I shut the doors on him myself. Uh-oh, 3 knocks. More visitors. Who's this now? Click, clack. Oh, excusing me, Stroganov. Oh, Seaman Stroganov. Sorry for disturbing, but crime has been committed on board ship. Yes, I heard. A terrible theft, apparently. How do you know this? Ah, well, the detective here just informed me, you see. Detective? Yes, I assumed you must have asked him to investigate. Detective, could you? What? Where'd he go? Where did he go? I must ask you to cooperate with investigation into this crime, fully. Uh-oh, he's glaring at the wardrobe already. Uh, ah! Ah! Ha 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 ha! Well done! You found me! What are you doing hiding in my wardrobe? My good man, I was merely assessing the practicality of concealing in such a place. And I would say that, at a push, a human could survive for up to 5 minutes in that cramped space. Renosuke's been in there for a fortnight. Is he not human? Who are you? This is the moment of truth. The great detective is about to unveil the sordid details of this wretched crime. You mean to say... Yes, there can be no doubt that the culprit of this terrible theft did indeed conceal himself within this wardrobe. What? But that's impossible. He couldn't have done, because my best friend wasn't in there the entire time, or at least I thought he was. How can you be sure of this? Elementary, my dear fellow. The criminal left behind the most revealing evidence. How else could you explain these 3 bones? Ah, what the? He's right. Look at those gnawed bones in there. And 3 of them. The criminal has escaped this time, but I will find him and crush him. Could I ask you something, Detective? Why, yes, of course. I am always delighted to answer an inquiring mind. In this terrible theft, what exactly was stolen? Aha, what else? But some steaks on the rib bone. Huh? Did you say steaks on the rib bone? For this evening's dinner, 3 rib steaks were stolen from Ship's kitchen only short time ago. There was malfunction with generator, and Ship was without lights for 10 minutes. Chef who saw criminal said that he ran away down first-class passageway, and now I am on his tail. I'm afraid to say, dear fellow, that your man is no longer in this cabin. But how? Through the cabin door, no less. Having devoured his haul in this wardrobe, the culprit discarded the bones and concealed himself behind the cabin door as you came inside. Then, when attention was turned to the wardrobe, he seized his chance to escape through the open door. What? Make haste, my good man. After the culprit, I shall follow you presently.
Hold it!
Something troubles you, sir? I think maybe criminal is not running away at all. What are you suggesting? Now I know where the dog is buried, Mr. Asogi. Me? Da! When I think that you are culprit, everything is falling in places. The criminal that disappeared in first-class passageway, the bones in the wardrobe. All clues are pointing their fingers at you. Don't be ridiculous, I would never. Yes, of course. I established at once that you couldn't be the perpetrator of this crime. You did? Why? How are you so sure? My dear fellow, there are but 2 things in this world on which one can rely with total certainty. What 2 things? The first is the word of a great detective, and the second... The second is the tragic rumbling of an empty belly. Hello, Sir Cam Bam. Ah, not again. When I first entered this cabin, there did arise from this gentleman a belly rumbling, so odiously tragic that it confirmed beyond all doubt that the man did not had not eaten a single rib steak in some time, let alone three. That's true. Why do I have to suffer this humiliation when I've done nothing wrong? Curses, I will catch this thief. He cannot have gone far. Indeed, assuming he decided against a post-meal constitutional swim. Well, if you will excuse me now, my apologies for upsetting your evening. Detective, one moment, please. Yes, that was a most remarkable deduction. Perhaps you'd be kind enough to tell me your name. Ah, it quite slipped my mind. You have been talking with the one and only Sherlock Holmes. I see. Well, I'm Kazuma Asogi. I'm a student on my way to Great Britain. Pleased to meet your acquaintance, Mr. Asogi. Oh, and before I forget, yes, I feel I should warn you. Live cargo is strictly forbidden on this vessel, so you would do well to conceal the stowaway currently lying low under your bed as carefully as possible. Oh, snap. Oh, under the bed? I bid you farewell then, Mr. Asogi. Oh, wow, so Renosuke was hiding under the bed during that time. He's uncovered our secret. I suppose I should have expected nothing less of a great detective. Now then. Why did you move in under the bed? I thought we had it when we opened I thought we'd had I thought we'd had it when he opened the wardrobe door. Ah, well, it was thanks to that split-second chance you engineered. That I what? You distracted him for a moment, remember? When you suggested that he investigated the other cabins instead. Oh yes, he turned to look towards the corridor, didn't he? Well, I couldn't see what he was doing, of course. But I thought to myself, it's now or never. And the next thing I knew, I was under the bed. You really know how to give me a scare, don't you? Anyway, what's all this about the rib steaks, eh? Oh, sorry about that. I've just been so hungry. Oh my god. Ever since we left Japan, stuck in that tiny wardrobe. Well, you should know. You've been splitting all your meals with me. You must be starving, too, surely. Right on cue. And there was that power cut before, wasn't there, for about 10 minutes? So it was then. I caught a whiff of the most delicious smell, and I thought to myself, it's now or never. The next thing I knew, I had the steak in my hands. This man just can't help getting himself into trouble. Well, alright, you were hungry, but 3 steaks. Thanks to you, 3 crewmen are going to go without tonight, I imagine. Oh my god. No, it was just the one. What? I only took one rib steak from the kitchen, that's all. But I don't understand. Hey, I'm not that selfish. If I'd stolen 3 steaks, I'd at least have tossed one your way. I'm not your pet dog. Well, in that well, in that case, who stole the other two? Ah, do you think? Could there be a ghost on board? A meat-loving ghost? Oh, stop. There can only have been a single bone in the wardrobe when Renosuke moved to hide under the bed, which means that the other two bones can only have been put there by one very flesh and blood person. Haha. What's so funny? What's on a... We're on a haunted ghost ship. A great detective or a great mischief maker. Either way, I think I'd like to spend a little more time getting to know that man. The great Hairlock Sholmes. The great Hairlock Sholmes. That's funny. Hello there, Master Remastered. I am getting through these escapades. These are short 15-minute episodes that were originally DLC. It's going well. It's a short one today for me. So, I'm whipping through these. It's recommended to go through these episodes after you get through the entire first game. So that was a nice meeting of Kazuma meeting Herlock Sholmes. And unfortunately, looks like he's not going to get to know him anymore since, well, whoopsie doodle, he dies. Kazuma. He was too cool to die, but oh well. And now we're going to episode 3. At the British Supreme Court. This escapade takes place as Renosuke and Susato visit Lord Strongheart to report on the outcome of Mr. Kazuma's... Oh, excuse me. What's up? What are these exactly? Okay, I'll tell you. Okay, so following the initial release of the game on 3DS, weekly DLC was released in the style of a magazine called Rants Magazine, which features Herlock Sholmes stories in-game. These weekly DLC releases each contain bonus content, such as 3DS themes, previously cut music and voice clips, and concept art featuring commentary. They also each contain an escapade, a short side story that takes place during the course of the main game. The DLC packs for the 3DS version of the game were released for 300 yen each back in the day. And in the Chronicles release of the game, which I'm, playing, the extra content is included in the base game, and it can be accessed via the special contents option in the main menu. And then when you beat all the escapades, if all the escapades are completed, when you read through them all, the player is awarded with an accolade as an achievement/trophy in the Steam/PS4 releases. And the escapades should be completed after the main game in order to avoid spoilers. So, and since I went through the entire first game, I'm checking out all these really cool side stories. Like, this was stuff that didn't make it into the main game, and it's really cool. No, they're just narrations, but it's really cool though, because you get more extra bits of story. It's so good. All right, now we're moving on to episode 3. Yeah, I don't have to do any investigating or presenting of evidence or trials. It's just narration, which is awesome. I'm digging it so far. All right, so episode 3 at the British Supreme Court. Episode 3 at the British Supreme Court. This escapade takes place as Renosuke and Susato visit Lord Strongheart to report on the outcome of Mr. Natsume's trial. They find a flustered Inspector Gregson attempting to solve a very taxing problem before his time runs out. Okay, and I also like that when you're loading up the episode, the game actually does warn you here that, hey, look, so for example, you should only view this episode after, you completed the game's first story, which I have. All right, here goes. All right, no worries. You go lurk peacefully, enjoy your food as I do this somewhat short stream. 26th February, 9:17 a.m. British Supreme Court, Lord Chief Justice Office. No Chief Justice. I will forever not stop making fun of that. Ugh. Here we are again. Every time we visit here, the atmosphere in this place seems to get more and more overbearing. Just think, we could be at home with Mr. Sholmes and Iris having a nice cozy breakfast. But we have a duty to report the outcome of the case, especially since we're guests here in Britain. But, so I'm afraid this visit couldn't have been avoided. I suppose not, but is there even anyone here? You could hear a pin drop at this place. It's too solemn for its own good. It is very quiet, isn't it? The only sound is the ticking of the great clock, as it keeps perfect time. Tock, tick tock, tick tock, tick tock. What was that, I wonder? The usual comforting sound of the clock seems to have been joined by a less comforting shuffle sound today. Tick tock, tick tock, tick tock, tick tock. Puff, puff, puff. You're right. Something's disturbing the rhythmical ticking. It sounds rather like an unfit middle-aged man running from pillar to post, clumsily. Uh, who are you calling unfit? Ha, ha, ha. Well, maybe if you would stop eating so much fish and chips. I'm sorry. Oh, Inspector Gregson. What are you doing here? What am I? Ah, isn't it flaming obvious? "58 seconds remaining, Inspector." Ah, we'll have to talk later, sunshine. Oh boy. Look, it's Lord Chief Justice. Good morning, Lord Strongheart. Wow, he's really looking fiercely at his pocket watch today. When isn't he? And good morning to you. Business so early in the day? Oh, yes. Well, I mean, it's about the other day. Um, we are to deliver a report, Lord Strongheart, as our dealings with Mr. Natsume are now over. Ah, yes, the little Japanese man. I've already cast my eyes over Van Zeek's report. Pitter-patter, pitter-patter, patter-patter. Ha. I must say, the outcome surprised me. I thank you for a job well done. You are too kind, my lord. It's not here, it's not there, it's not over there either. I hope you don't mind me asking, but what exactly is the inspector doing? He's been carrying around between the bookshelves, looking beside himself in worry. He's looking for a particular work, The Lion's Pride. Now there's an all too familiar title. Yep. I heard it was a popular tale, so I obtained a copy from the rental library. However, it wasn't able to maintain my interest, so I soon cast it aside. Wow. I happened to notice a vacant spot on one of my shelves at the time, so I duly stowed the book there. Unfortunately, I no longer remember where that was. Nope, not there, not here either. Come on, where are you lions hiding? The book is due back today, so I've asked Gregson to locate it for me with his investigative prowess. Oh god. Inside 5 minutes. I must say, I've never seen anyone working so hard to find something. He's like a man possessed. Ah, yes, that's because his month's salary is staked upon the outcome. Oh my god. At whose investigation? I mean, as at whose instigation? Let me guess. This stony-faced lord. No, Chief Justice. And the 5 minute time limit, what's the significance of that? There is none. Just my vulgar mischievous spirit showing itself, I'm afraid. Oh, by your own admission. Grah! I can't. My feet, are killing me. 5 seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1. Time's up, Inspector. Ah, which means that next month you will work unpaid and have no days off. Oh my god. No, no days off. I'm convinced man, he's pretty evil in that aspect. No, Chief Justice. There really are just so many books here. It's overwhelming. For some, perhaps, I've purchased any book, new or old, on the subject of law from all over the globe. Wouldn't have believed it a few short decades ago. A place like this couldn't have existed. What do you mean, Inspector? No, I have not. What even is it about? Uno momento. Grova? Grova Forsaken Kin? Action RPG. Hmm, interesting. It also used to be a mobile title. Hmm, there's also a demo for it. Most interesting. All right. Celtic mythology. Celtic. That does sound cool. I was almost thinking about doing a demo stream real soon. Maybe I'll look into it. All right. When I was a lad, no one ever dreamed of buying books. Oh, I see. Western books are such luxury items, I suppose, with their leather covers and fancy bindings. No, that's not it. Oh, there was a tax on paper, see? On paper? A tax? Yeah, I mean, it was abolished about 30 years back now, but it used to be the case. There was tax levied on any kind of paper, so obviously, that meant most folk couldn't afford to buy any books at all. Whoa. Ah, so is that why places like the rental library you mentioned before came into existence, Lord Strongheart? Indeed, vestiges of the paper tax system, you could say. The general public consider books as items for hire. London is home to a vast lending library of some 3.5 million books. You couldn't hope to read all of that even if you were reincarnated 10,000 times. Even I would choose to rent a book rather than purchase it, if I knew I would read it infrequently. The subject of the subject of taxes actually surprised us already in the last few days. It came up in Mr. Natsume's trial. It seems that the window in his room was filled due to some kind of window tax. Oh yeah, I remember that. That would be true. Unfortunately, the window tax was abolished here some 40 years ago. Sadly, in the East End in particular, many windowless houses remain. Hello, Chuck. This is a very interesting episode right now. I'm learning about taxes of this century, about book tax, and now how there was a window tax. Because I remember this was mentioned before in the previous case. Sadly, oh yeah, it was in the fourth case. Sadly, the East End, in particular, many windowless house remains. Britain's always had a bit of a thing for tax and stuff. Whatever they can tax, they tax. Sugar, salt, tea, coffee, you name it. Candy, candles, beards. Wait. A beard tax? No. Wait, sorry? What was that last one? Did you say beards? Yup, the beard tax. Never heard of it? Never. Why should people have to pay money just because they let their facial hair grow? You may well ask. I suppose it's because it makes them look self-important. Ugh. The Naruhodos will have a strict family policy of no facial hair, I think. You can relax. The beard tax was confined to the annals of history long ago. Even so, it's clearly something the British really love. Paying taxes, I mean. Paying them. You got that back to front, sunshine. But you can't deny, you've had a lot of funny taxes over the years. You've never find anything like that in Japan. Would you, Miss Usato? In actual fact, I'm afraid to say that you would, Mr. Naruhodo. What? No, you don't mean. Surely there's never been a window tax in Japan? No, but there have been similarly obscure taxes. For example, in the Edo period, there was a frontage tax. What was that? It was a tax not on windows, but on the entrance to properties. The larger a property's entrance was, the greater the tax that was levied on it. Even today, some mansions survive with extremely narrow entrances due to that old form of taxation. I had no idea. So you Japanese are as twisted as us Brits. But we never had a beard tax. I mean, that's really going a step too far. Well, no, that's true. I'm not aware of any taxes for beards at least. What do you mean at least? Well, rather than tax them, the shogunate did once prohibit them outright. The ruling class prohibited beards? It was called the Great Beard Prohibition. It was an Edo period edict. Shogunate. Hereditary military dictatorship in Japan that ruled from the 12th century until the mid-19th century. Wow. A shogun held the true political and military power, while the emperor served as a symbolic figurehead in Kyoto. Oh, that's cool. But why did the powers that be want to ban beards? Because it makes people look self-important? Just an idea. It would seem that rulers in the East and the West have had very similar ideas over the years. There have been other unusual taxes in our history, even in our current Meiji period. There have? For example, though it was before either of us were born, there was a rabbit tax. There was a tax on those adorable fluffy creatures? Like the one who makes mochi sweets at the moon? Oh. Yes, and it was extremely large tax too. The government demanded extraordinary sums of money. This just gets stranger and stranger. What was the reason for that bizarre tax then? Well, after Japan opened its doors to the world, there was an unprecedented rabbit boom in the Meiji capital. A boom? Yes, keeping rabbits became hugely popular, and new species were traded at exorbitant prices. People were even swindled out of all their money for exotically colored rabbits. Like colored chicks, I suppose. Hard to imagine though. Rabbits are so timid and quiet. Wouldn't have thought one could bankrupt you. So in response to this worrying social vogue, the government imposed a rabbit tax. I suppose they couldn't just ignore the problem. And it worked because the rabbit boom came to an abrupt end. 6 years later, the tax was abolished. Well, I hate to say it about my own country, but Japan is strange. But there's more. After the rabbit tax was abolished then, of course, society reacted by launching straight into a second rabbit boom. Oh dear. The government didn't think that one through, did they? Your ideas about the world are very much altered by the position you hold in society. If you're responsible for the running of the country, you will feel the need to raise revenue keenly. Without a stable taxation system, the whole country would go down the drain. Well, yes, I suppose so, but some of these taxes... That's precisely why ministers of state use their wiles to invent new and novel ways of taxing the public. Novel ways? Tell me, Mr. Naruhodo, if you were one of my country's statesmen... Me? A British statesman? Yes, what novel tax would you impose? Pray, give us something truly original. Inside 5 seconds. What? Oh, think of something that everyone uses, Mr. Naruhodo, and really squeeze every penny out of the population. That's quite the intense stare. I'm very glad Susato-san isn't in charge. Your time is up. So, what's your answer? Well? Air? Maybe? Yes. How about air? An air tax, you say? Oh, well done, Mr. Naruhodo. A truly novel and fiendish idea. Air tax? Well, everyone has to breathe. So while the population is inhaling air, my government is inhaling money. Blimey, you're a tyrant at heart, eh? A somewhat radical solution to a country's revenue problems, but sadly, not an original one. No, you mean to say? Surely not. You mean a tax on air has been imposed in the past? It was last century. The finance minister of our neighbor, France, proposed it. What? If I ever go for a visit, I'm holding my breath. What? Unsurprisingly, it was strongly opposed by the public and soon scrapped. The minister didn't last long either. Oh dear, although clearly that would have been an untenable situation. The public at large are a force to be reckoned with. Don't I know it? How about you, Inspector? What new tax would you impose? Let me see. My first thought is a tax on objections. Sorry, been hearing far too many of them recently in court. There's a particular lawyer I have in mind as it happens. So I think an objection tax could be very handy. No! Good to see you don't allow your personal feuds to influence your work in public office. Hmm. I reckon 5 pence for every objection raised would be about right. No. A most amusing proposal, Gregson. A most unamusing proposal, my lord. Yeah, an objection tax? Get out of here. Well then, I think it's your turn now. Sorry, my turn for what? Why, what else? To locate my missing copy of The Lion's Pride. Oh, it's on one of the shelves in this room, of what I am certain. Now, I shall give you 10 minutes, and let's stake your student's statement on it, Fail to find the book, and you forfeit next month's payment. What? Objection! Your time starts now. Oh, and one more thing. I believe you just said the word objection. Ugh. Kindly leave your 5 pence over there before you begin combing the shelves. This tax is going to be the death of me. I agree. They need to abolish that tax. That's awful. That was fun. So far, I really like the second episode because seeing Kazuma and Herlock interact was really cool. Alright, episode 4, in Sholm's Suite. This fourth escapade unfolds one morning on Baker Street, which Iris has prepared breakfast for everyone as usual. But Renosuke wakes to find an envelope under his door containing a death threat. Who on earth could have put it there, and why? What? Hold up! 9th March, 8:23 a.m. Sholmes' Suite. Good morning, Iris. Good morning, Mr. Sholmes. Good morning, Susie. I'll get breakfast on the table for us all. Ah, Mr. Sholmes. Morning. Come now. Why the long face? Oh, sorry. The thing is, I just had a rather strange envelope posted under my door this morning, with some rather strange things inside. What strange things? Well, what was it, Bruno? Do I catch the scent of mystery in the air? Nothing so exciting, I'm afraid, Iris. It was just 5 orange pips. I can't imagine what it could possibly. What? Orange pips, Mr. Naruhodo? And for 5 of them? What's the matter with you? That's a bit of an overreaction, isn't it? An overreaction, Mr. Naruhodo? You don't understand. It's a warning, a notice of imminent danger. To your life. What? To my life? What's the meaning of all this, Mr. Sholmes? My dear fellow, why do you make such an inquiry of me? Because the name of the sender was written on the envelope, and it was yours. Oh, you're right, Bruno. It says sent by Sholmes, envoy of hell. What? Ah, ha, 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 ha. So my little ploy has been exposed. Well, so be it. Cast your mind back, if you will, Mr. Naruhodo, to the time of our dining last night. Oh yes, Mr. Sato cooked Japanese food for us. Indeed. In particular, you may recall the final Norimaki sushi roll that I was about to save you. That is, before you swooped in with your clacking chopsticks and filched it from under my nose. Oh, I assume because you left it that you didn't want it. I'd left it, my dear fellow, because I had planned to enjoy it as my very last mouthful. Surely you must have noted my intent by the subtle dilation of my bright pupil. No, perhaps a clearer sign would be helpful next time. Just an idea. In summary, the post you received earlier is a notice of impending revenge. You should be quaking in your boots. Really? Because I went straight out into the garden and planted them. I'm hopeful we may grow some exotic fruit. There's no point sending a notice of impending revenge if the person you sent it to doesn't know what it is. Well, I knew, of course, because I've read this book, The Adventures of Herlock Sholmes. On sale now in all major London bookshops and receiving rave reviews. Oh yes, of course, it's finally been published, hasn't it? I hear it's selling very well. 'Tis 12 short stories in one volume. I've earned a lifetime spending money already. Wow. And it has further bolstered my name. In fact, only the other day, a Bohemian king sought to engage my services. Really, that's extraordinary. Of course, the gentleman persisted with some pretense about being a fishmonger for the duration. But only a fool would presume to be able to deceive my eyes with such a charade. So how did you know that he was a king then? Why, there is no mystery, my dear fellow. A distinct smell of fish accompanied the man's lowly apparel. And though he tried to hide it, the left side of his mustache quivered in a quite manifest manner. Oh, Mr. Sholmes, that's simply brilliant. Having neatly resolved the case for the man, I was sent a quantity of fresh cod as a mark of his appreciation. I think perhaps you shouldn't discount the possibility that he actually was a fishmonger. Ah, is that it? Can anyone else smell burning? Oh yes, you're right. And look, smoke. I think maybe... Fire! Fire! There's a fire, everyone! Really? Fire? We must all leave at once. Everyone out of the building. Oh my god. He's in his boxing stance without his hat. I did see a gif of that somewhere. Because I remember last time I checked in-game, he had that stance but with his hat on. I'm like, oh my god, where's that from? No, wait, I have to go back to my room first. Are you deranged? If you're not asphyxiated by the smoke, the flames will burn you to death. But my Daruma doll, I can't let my Daruma burn. It means too much. Oh. Oh, drat, sorry, but I'm going to make a dash for it upstairs. Oh, Bruno, you're so funny. This is no time for jokes, Iris. Go, quickly, get out of here. But there is no fire. Is there, Hurley? Huh? Ah, what a delight to see that ploy and that in the flesh. I wouldn't have dared to dream I should be so lucky. Mrs. Sato? Ah, ha, 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 ha. Indeed, indeed. Indeed, it was a ploy, a devilment engineered by my puckish spirit. It was all a trick, but why? It is a simple experiment of the wind. It is a simple experiment of the mind, Mr. Naruhodo. When his life is threatened, a fellow is compelled instinctively to protect that property to which he attaches much matching importance. And after your own life, Bruno, the most important thing to you seems to be your Daruma doll. Let's not dwell on that, shall we, Iris? So, you knew all along, Miss Susato, that it was a trick? Yes, of course. The very ploy is described in this book. The Adventures of Herlock Sholmes. On sale now in all major London bookshops and receiving rave reviews. Not again. I have used that device quite satisfactorily in the past to solve a case. Oh yes, it was a great success, wasn't it? But then it became something of a habit, didn't it? You started yelling fire at every crime scene. In the end, people started to pay no attention to you at all. Yes, that's true. There was a time when I was known as the Sholmes who cried wolf. Oh, I think there's a lesson to be learned in there somewhere. But sadly, my little ploy failed to yield results this time. Iris was utterly unmoved. What do you mean? Well, I was anticipating that Iris would immediately expose her secret hiding place. The location of the nest egg she must have cached somewhere in this room. Nest egg? You don't think Iris has some secret savings? Why, naturally. The book is selling like hotcakes, after all. It is a simple deduction, indeed, to conclude that the profits must be concealed here, within these walls. Oh, Mr. Sholmes, are you in need of money? Ah, I bet I know what it is. It's that new microscope that's going on sale, isn't it, Hurley? What else? I have such a strong desire to own one. Yet my purse is £1 too late. And as no offer of a loan has been forthcoming, I've been forced to resort to an alternative stratagem. Stratagem, huh? Strata. A clever scheme, trick, or carefully laid plan designed to deceive an opponent, gain an advantage, or achieve a specific goal. The term often implies an element of outwitting or surprising someone. Stratagem. I like that. Sorry, Hurley, but I'm not falling for that. Not coming from the Sholmes who cried wolf. Ah, how vexing. You really shouldn't be trying to steal a 10-year-old savings, you know. That's messed up. My book is full of little tricks like that, you see. The armory of the great detective. Except that in this case, both the orange pips and the fake fire fell a little flat, didn't they? Oh, I have plenty more tricks up my sleeve. Hold on, everybody. I'm getting interrupted by Cat. Cat has left the building, or the room, rather. No opposable thumbs, tuxedo mask. Bruce will always be my favorite of the seven. Anyway, Aye, time is money, I swear. Oh, I have plenty more tricks up my sleeve. Take, for example, the case of the Boscombe Valley mystery. I'm already filled with dread, just from the title. It is a tale of extraordinary skill on the part of the great detective, the skill of tracking. Tracking. When I arrived at the scene of the crime, in the eponymous valley, there were footprints everywhere. But my eye was immediately drawn to one set in particular. Oh, Mr. Sholmes, your detective instincts are truly remarkable. As you know, my dear madame, no detail, no matter how small, escapes the scrutiny of these eyes. So I tracked my quarry, following the trail of his footprints all the way to the man's place of residence. It led you directly to the culprit's house. What a triumph. You misunderstand. It led me directly to my own house, my dear fellow. Huh? For the footprints were, in the final analysis, those made by my own shoes. Hurley had left here for Boscombe Valley as soon as he received the telegram about the case, you see. And then he followed his own trail straight back here to Baker Street. Ha. Now, Iris, please. You make it sound almost humdrum, but I assure you, it is no easy feat. Tracking of this nature is a skill possessed only by the great Herlock Sholmes. You're right, it really is extraordinary. Quite so, extraordinary is the word. And let it be the last on the subject. Anyway, needless to say, I subsequently went on to solve the case with various other deductions. Yes, it's the various other deductions that I'm interested in. Ah, well, you shall have to read the book then. I'm sure Iris had penned it with her usual flourish. Oh, absolutely. I put an ingenious spin on the great detective's exploits. It must have been very ingenious to make this man sound even remotely credible as a detective. Wait, is that it? Does it smell like something's burning again? We've had enough devilment for one day, Mr. Sholmes. Put your puckish spirit to bed. I assure you, this has nothing to do with me or my spirit. What? Oh no, the smoke is getting thicker. You mean it's not a trick this time? There really is a... Fire! Fire! There's a fire, everyone! Oh no. Ah! Miss Usato, where are you going? Stand aside, Mr. Naruhodo. Ah! Easy, Mr. Sholmes. What are you... Oh my god. Mr. Sholmes? Why did he just chuck that bust of Napoleon on the floor? Oh my god. But it's right there still. Oh, look at that. In amongst all the broken porcelain. Coins, sovereigns, in fact, worth a whole pound each. Come everyone, we must leave at once. Evacuate the building. You fell for it, Hurley. Hook, line, and sinker. Ah, wait, you mean Iris? I certainly wouldn't have guessed that's where you'd hidden it. Do you mean to say that this smoke was... My own puckish spirit needs to come out and play sometimes too, you know. What? Ah, of course. I know what it is, Iris. It's that indoor herb garden set that went on sale last week, isn't it? That's what you're after. I want one so desperately, but I'm £4 short. And even though you told me you didn't have any money to spare before... I knew you had a secret nest egg somewhere in this room. Ah, you've outwitted me again. You really shouldn't let yourself be outwitted by a 10-year-old child, you know. Ha ha ha! So, thank you for the loan, Hurley. Oh, but wait. What's the matter? Where's Susie? She just disappeared. Oh, yes, that's right. She ran off up the stairs before, didn't she? Ah, ah. Oh, what are you all still doing in here? We have to evacuate. It won't be long before the fire is. Uh-oh. She doesn't know. Ah, sorry, Susie. Children will get up to mischief once in a while, you know, but it's all perfectly harmless. Harmless, maybe, but oh so devious. That was silly. Oh, still going. Oh well, at least nobody was hurt. Apart from Napoleon and my secret horde. Now tell us, Mr. Sato, what is it that you went so fleet-footedly to fetch? Sorry? Oh, no, nothing. This is just, no, this is nothing. Susie, that's your notebook detailing all of Bruno's trials, isn't it? It's bulging at the seams. Ooh, it's her notebook. And that was the notes for the McGildick case, too. What? Ah, a testament to the various people you've helped over the past months. Miss Sato, well, I am your judicial assistant after all. I would do anything to ensure the safety of these records, even risk my life, if necessary. Wow. I mean, it's very important to me. It's like a diary of everything we've achieved together. Aw, I'm getting all teary-eyed now. Aw. Yes, in stark contrast to a certain someone who would have fetched his Daruma doll, I must say. Hey, uh, hey, it's his lucky charm, okay? Don't rag on him with his Daruma doll. All right, and we have 4 episodes left, everybody. Episode 5, at Naruhodo's Legal Consultancy. An escapade in Naruhodo's legal consultancy, where Susato appears to be rather irritated because it seems Renosuke has been buying a little too much bric-a-brac, and now the whole place is brimming with things they don't need. And his latest purchase has really rocked the boat with Iris and Susato. Uh-oh. Hang on. Don't go away, everybody. I'm going to use the restroom real quick. Be right back. Okay, I have returned it. Okay, let me get situated. All right, and now, all right, here goes. Uno momento, everybody. Okay, and let me double check on someone. Oh, okay. To be determined. All right, no worries then. I'll just double check on something on the old Discord. Hmm, meh. All right. Anywho, continuing. Episode 5 at Naruhodo's Legal Consultancy. Here goes. We're almost done. 5th March, 2:40 p.m. Naruhodo's Legal Consultancy. All right. Hello. Uh, um, I'm back. Hang on. All right. Oh, hello, Mr. Naruhodo. Did you have a good outing? Hi, Bruno. Hmm? What's the matter? Your eyes are as big as dinner plates. Haha, Iris. I wasn't expecting to see you here. I've just made some tea, Mr. Naruhodo. Would you like a would you like a cup? A cup or two, yes. Definite tea. Haha. All right, Bruno. What's going on? You're acting extremely strangely. What? Me? No, not at all. I'm as normal could be. Normally tea itself. See? Haha, haha. Ah, not again, Mr. Naruhodo. Ah, sorry, not what again? What do you mean, Susie? Whenever he goes out on his town on his own lately, he always seems to come back with a peculiar new purchase. Peculiar? Peculiar? What's peculiar about the things I brought? You seem to think that anything British is a curio you simply must have. You keep buying the items of bric-a-brac even though you don't know what they are. Well, there are rather a lot of bric-a-brac shops and pawnbrokers, and pawnbrokeries, and the like around here. Ah, yes. It's when I've been to it's when I've been to Lord Strongheart's to give my weekly report. I'm always so nervous beforehand. On the way home, I just find myself in those shops and yes, all right, I can't deny it. I brought something. You're right, you can't deny it, because your eyes are wider than ever. You really ought to put up a warning sign about them. They're bigger than some potholes around here. It's hard to resist things in the bric-a-brac shop. It's all so cheap. Mr. Sholmes has given me lots of useful advice about how to pick out the real bargains. You must remember, Bruno, that Hurley likes to have fun with you. Take his advice with a big pinch of salt. Um, Again, they're like side stories. Um, and they actually do tie into, you know, the cases. Like episode one, um, it was about how Renosuke lost something important, much to Kazuma's disappointment. And then the second one was Kazuma has a run-in with Herlock Sholmes, and that was a nice interaction between the two. And then the third episode was about, the discussion of taxes, which is fine. And then the previous episode was pretty neat because, like, um, you know, when Sholmes was doing his little tricks, we got to see that one little piece of evidence on Susato's notebook that she went to go save from the fire, and that was a special notebook because it had the gilded case file information. These are just nice little side stories that does tie into the game. E- And also the game clearly tells you, I mean, excuse me, it clearly tells you, like, don't watch this episode until you get through the main game, which I have. I already explained what these escapades were. Anyway, you must remember, Bruno, that Hildy likes to have fun with you. Take his advice with a big pinch of salt. Well, that's true. That thing he told me was a pot stand. Wasn't a pot stand at all. But I'd never have guessed it was a collapsible top hat. No, and I'd never have guessed that you could fill up this once empty room so quickly. Honestly, it's overflowing with things we don't need now. I mean, look at those scales. Not once have you weighed something on them. I know, but ever since I first stood at the defense's bench in court, I don't know why, but kinda, sorta, but not really. Nah, at least in the like at least in the context of at least the first escapade. Um, Actually, nah. In the first escapade, um, that I just did, it was playing an event after the first case was done. They were doing the whole little discussion about the coin and the stake, and then and then they showed a little bit more between the relationship of Renosuke and Kazuma. But anywho, we're going to continue on. I know, but ever since I first stood at the defense's bench in court, I don't know why, but I just really wanted my own little set of scales. Let's see it then, Mr. Naruhodo. What have you come home with today? Oh, well, it's, one of these. What is it? It looks all dry and shriveled up in a ball. Really, Mr. Naruhodo, what is it? It's a sea anemone. Ah, an anemone? Yes, I mean, I know it doesn't look like it at the moment. It's all shriveled up, like you said. Aren't sea anemones living creatures, the ones that dance about on the seabed? Yes, exactly. The ones that dance about on the seabed. Oh, they sell sea anemones in a bric-a-brac shop in bric-a-brac shops here in Britain. I don't know whether they normally do or not, but I do know that I brought one today. But why, Bruno? Well, yes, for the aquarium, of course. Aquarium. I don't know that word. Well, according to the shopkeeper, keeping sea creatures in tanks was hugely popular here in London before. Oh yes, some people have some beautiful fish in seawater tanks. It's true. Having an aquarium became popular because the old glass tax was abolished. Oh, there it is again, rearing its ugly head, the subject of taxation. It was a real craze for a while. Everyone in London had one. For a while? Yes, it didn't last long. People's enthusiasm soon waned. It's just far too much work to be changing the seawater regularly in a city like London. Never a truer word said, I'm sure. You'd think people might have realized that from the start, really, wouldn't you? Anyway, that was long before I was born. So now everyone jokes that there's an unloved aquarium covered in dust in every attic in the capital. And it's true, there's one in this attic too. When I told the man in the bric-a-brac shop, he had these words of wisdom. That's why this is the age of the sea anemone, and that made it a lot of sense to me. It made sense to you, did it? But Bruno, this anemone is completely dried up. You just need to soak it in water overnight, and it'll be as good as new. That's what the man said. I'm not sure that it works in the same way as dried wakame seaweed, Mr. Neruhodo. Once I save some money, I'm going to buy some prawns to keep this little fellow company. Oh, how exciting! Your office will be teeming with life. Will it really? Britain is a funny country, though. I mean, a sea anemone craze? Well, they say people in glass houses about comments like that here, Mr. Naruhodo. Don't forget that there was a very curious rabbit craze in our own country not so very long ago. Yeah, a mortifying chapter that people try to erase in the history books 100 years from now, I'm sure. You know, there was another craze as well before the aquarium one. Have you heard of Wardian cases? Wardy what? No, I definitely never heard of them. They were little glazed cases for growing plants indoors, I believe. Oh, I see, for plant lovers to raise their favorite tropical plants. That's right, like different types of ferns. Ferns? Do you mean those rather dull plants with lots of fronds for leaves? They're not dull at all. Ferns are lovely plants. I think people wanted to recreate the exotic foliage of the tropics in their own homes. So they grew ferns. I mean ferns. Sea anemones. Hold up. So they grew ferns. I mean ferns, sea anemones. Londoners certainly have a knack for the obscure. Well, thinking about it, my grandfather loved the moss on his bonsai. He looked after it better than the trees. It seems like the more obscure something is, the more it interests people. Maybe. Anyway, the Wardian case craze didn't last very long. Now, most of those little glass cases are just gathering dust, I think. But haven't I seen one in your room, Iris? Oh, very observant of you, Susie. Yes, that's right. Mine's uncertainty, not gathering dust. I grow tropical herbs in it. Well, Mr. Naruhodo, I really must ask you to stop all this frivolous buying of strange things. Yes, all right. Sorry. It's just that, well, think about Mr. Sholmes's room. He has all sorts of peculiar trinkets lying around. Oh, well, yes, that's true. And they seem to be growing in number. Recently, I've noted a blowpipe, a few beryl crystals set in a twisted piece of gold, a gold-rimmed pince nez. I spotted a small gramophone record in there the other day, so I slipped it onto the gramophone. Hang on. Hints. Pince nez. What is that? A pince nez is a style of antique eyeglasses that has no arms to rest over your ears. Instead, they are held in place by a spring or clip that lightly pinches the bridge of the nose. Oh, okay. That's what a pince nez is. Ah, those. Those type of glasses. All right, cool. Wait a minute. I spotted a small gramophone record in there the other day, so I slipped it onto the gramophone. But it was just whispering a voice saying, Norbury, and nothing more. Norbury? What could it possibly be about? Those are all mementos of cases that Hurley solved over the years. Exactly. That's what I want to create in here. Just that sort of atmosphere. Oh, he wants to be like Sholmes. Ah, a room full of meaningful trinkets, each with their own unique history, you mean? Yes, yes, that. I knew you'd understand, Mr. Sato. But, Mr. Naruhodo, none of the things you've brought for the room have any connection with any of our cases. Oh, don't they? Nope. Well, for example, take that splendid but rather weather-beaten top hat. That wasn't used as evidence in any of the cases we worked on, was it? Oh, so you have two top hats if you count the collapsible one as well? No, the collapsible one is a pot stand, as far as I'm concerned anyway. But the other day, when we were in court, they were everywhere, weren't they? Oh, top hats, I mean. Look at those top hats! Beppo! Fair play! Oh, and, lady first. Top hats, I mean. Well, here in Britain, of course, they're the mark of a true gentleman, so that's hardly surprising. If a man isn't wearing a top hat when he ventures out of doors, he'll be looked down upon. Oh, gosh, it has very strict rules, doesn't it? The English gentleman's code. I've been wondering how I'd look in a top hat recently. After all, my university uniform is black as well, so I think it would be very in keeping. Oh, what a good idea. Go on then, Bruno. Try it on. Oh boy. The lesson here, I suppose, is that the juxtaposition of students and gentlemen is just so strange and wrong. Well, I'd rather it didn't suit me anyway. I mean, these hats are all ridiculous. I'd be willing to bet every foreigner who sees one of these for the first time thinks exactly the same thing. Why isn't that man wearing a chimney on his head? People in glass houses, remember, Bruno? What do you mean? Well, what about Japanese chanmaje top hats? Top knots. Those haircuts are the height of ridiculousness. Oh, the chanmange, traditional Japanese top knot hairstyle. I see. Oh, true. At least you can take a hat off. Once you have a chanmange, it's chan your head for good. I'd be willing to bet every foreigner who sees a chanmange for the first time thinks exactly the same thing. Why is that man wearing a cannon on his head? I suppose that's what it means to have different cultures, isn't it? On the subject of hats, the one Mr. Sholmes always wears is really very strange, don't you think? I beg your pardon, Mr. Naruhodo. What a thing to say. That hat is the very essence of Mr. Sholmes. Yes, without his deer stalker, the great detective would be unrecognizable. It's called a deer stalker. That's a surprisingly swanky name. Deer stalker hat. Oh, I never knew. I never knew that that looked. That's cool. I never knew that was called a deer stalker. I'm like, what kind of hat is that? That's totally like, okay, it's the hat of a hunter, just like the flat cap. I made up my mind long ago to visit Regent Street and buy one for myself. I'm not sure it's going to fit over your hair. Well, I think it's perfect for a great detective who stalks his criminal quarry. What do you think is strange about it anyway? Well, you've seen it. It has two brims, one on the front and one at the back. Why do you need two brims on a hat? Surely one at the front is enough, no? One moment, please. If you ask me, it's not just Mr. Sholmes' madcap personality coming through. I bet it's so that he doesn't have to think about which way round to put it on or something like that. Mr. Soames does not have a madcap personality. He always has a clear head. I don't think so. Deerstalkers are made for hunters who had to hide in thickets when they were stalking their prey. The brim at the back was designed to stop the stalks of plants scratching the backs of their necks. Oh, so that's the reason. Thank you, Iris, for educating us. Mr. Soames doesn't spend a lot of time in thickets, though, does he? Well, no, that's true. I'm telling you, it's just his impetuous personality. That's my theory, and I'm sticking to it firmly. Ah, here you all are. Oh, good afternoon, Mr. Sholmes. I have not long since made some tea, Mr. Sholmes. Would you like a cup? I see I've come at a good time, Mr. Sato. Thank you. Now I have something I should like you all to see. I've designed myself a brand new Great Detective's hat. What the? There's a brim. At the front and at the back, and at both sides. 4 brims in total. Your observation is quite correct, my dear madame. I'm a busy man, you see. But with this hat, whichever way I put it on, I shall always have it pointing the correct way. Oh! With my previous hat, I could, in an impetuous moment, wear it erroneously with the brims on either side. That's impressively clumsy, I would say. And I must regretfully say, I think your madcap theory was correct after all. But really, Mr. Sholmes, with brims on all 4 sides like that, wouldn't it just be better to wear a top hat instead? Oh yes, then however you put it on, you'd have a brim all around. What? So true, so true. How could I have been so blinkered to this fact until now? Well, fortunately, I happen to have two top hats here. If you just lift the pot off of it, you're welcome to try that one there. Indeed, I shall, my good fellow. Much obliged. Ah, ha, 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 ha. Oh dear, Hurley, it looks terrible. More terrible than I could possibly have imagined. Oh, that's not good. Maybe it's because of your long face paired with the tall hat. It just doesn't work. Well, I think it's very nice, Mr. Sholmes, even if it will have the whole world in fits of laughter. Ah, I should have never have meddled with it. Give me a deerstalker forevermore, deerstalker, and give me my regulation university hat forevermore. There's still hope that you'll graduate one day, Mr. Naruhodo. Don't give up. There's still hope that you'll graduate one day, Mr. Naruhodo. Don't give up. All right. Let's see. All right. Episode 6 in Mr. Natsume's room. In this escapade in Mr. Natsume's room, it's revealed that the Japanese scholar was once a teacher of English. He has much to say on the cultural differences between Japan and Britain, as well as on sentimentality, Shakespeare, and cycling. This one sounds like it's going to be interesting. And of course, see, it says it right here. This actually does, see, for anybody out there, it says, again, don't have to reiterate. They tell you that the escapade includes spoilers about the first game's story. So it would be wise to actually, again, play through the first game. I already, mentioned it in the beginning. 23rd February, 6:09 p.m., Mr. Natsume's room. So, Mr. Natsume, are you really returning home to Japan? Oh, wow. This shows a little bit about, we got to see more of Natsume. This was after um the case was finished. Yes, indeed I am. Everything is arranged already. We'll be sad to see you go. And after Bruno worked so hard to prove your innocence as well. What a shame. It feels like it was all a wasted effort. Don't say that! I know what you're suggesting! Now calm down, Mr. Natsume. It's all fine, really. You are in good company here. You are in good company here, sir. If you fear the Reaper, you needn't hide the fact. I am a proud citizen of the Empire of Japan. I am not a scaredy cat. Talking of cats, Mr. Sholmes just casually threw one among the pigeons there. A man like me belongs in Japan, not here. That's what I've come to realize. I wonder. A mustache such as yours is eminently suited to London, I would say. There goes Mr. Sholmes throwing another cat in. The moment I arrived in the city, I noticed. Everyone in London laughs at me behind my back like hyenas. Hysterical hyenas, ha-haing horribly. I'm, I'm sure that's not true, Mr. Natsume. Oh, but it is. Whenever I turn around, And here down the fog-filled streets, all I see is foreigners everywhere. Well, there's you, Bruno, and Susie in here. So that's three foreigners out of five people. I take your point. Only the other day, I was taking a stroll through the fog as usual, when a young man approached me from ahead. He was pale and gaunt, his back arched like a cat. Observing his wretchedness moved me so deeply. Ah, I thought to myself, I'm not the only one suffering in this hell. But, do you know what? Can you imagine? It was just my own reflection in the shop window. A stunning, stinging, stupefying surprise! Don't forget slap in the face. Everyone started laughing at me. Gentlemen thereabouts, ladies passing by, even the man in the shop window. Ah yes, the certain great detective would like to be included among the mirthful. Arr! Mr. Sholmes is really going for Soseki-san today. Well, I for one think you're a very handsome man, Mr. Natsume. There, did you hear that? This 10-year-old girl thinks you're handsome. Isn't that wonderful? Makes me feel suspiciously warm inside. He looks genuinely delighted. The point is, we Japanese are humble and modest. Studying on foreign soil, surrounded by foreign people, how could anyone possibly enjoy that? No one could. It's impossible. If you're a genuine Japanese. If you say so. Actually, it would appear that there is someone. A Japanese man who studied in a foreign country and seems to have thrived on the experience. There he is. Mr. Ogai Mori. I believe he studied in Germany. Mr. Mori, pray, tell us more of the fellow. Ogai Mori. Well, today, he's a very successful author in Japan. Oh, I've heard of him. He's the professor who wrote Mahime. Isn't he? Mahime? Hang on. Ogai Mori. Oh, wow. Interesting. I suppose in English the title would be Dancing Queen, maybe. Oh, I see. A tale of a woman who waltzed her way through the world, perhaps? You really need to make up a silly translation, you know? It's already officially called The Dancing Girl in English. It seems Mr. Mori greatly enjoyed his time. It seems Mr. Mori greatly enjoyed his time in Germany. He became close with a local lady while he was there. Close, you say? With a local lady? A compatriot's criminally contradictory conduct. Well, I suppose your experience of studying abroad depends to a large extent on your character. Ah, as they say, many men, many minds. Mr. Mori has an open mind. Mr. Natsume, a closed one. Possibly a slightly black and white view, do you think, Mr. Sholmes? Well, anyway, if that's how you feel about being abroad, why did you choose to study here? Wasn't it to further our nation's understanding of the English language or something? Yes, that's right. So what were you doing in Japan before you came to Great Britain then? I was a school teacher of English, of course. A bit cursory, perhaps, but I managed to discover some information about Mr. Natsume's teaching days. That's just a little outside the field of law, isn't it, Mr. Sato? Well, let me pose you a question, Mr. Naruhodo. If you had to translate the English phrase, I love you, into Japanese, what would it become? That's easy. Ashiteru, or Suki des. Wrong. According to Mr. Natsume's teachings, at least. What? Would you like to explain, Mr. Natsume? Yes, yes, of course. Your research was very thorough. I always used to tell my students that we Japanese don't express ourselves that way. Rather, we might say, Suki ga kirei desu ne. My dear Mr. Natsume, I must interject. Suki ga kirei desu ne would translate as, the moon is beautiful, isn't it? I know that! The point is that we Japanese are reticent when it comes to expressing our emotions. Reticent. The point is that we Japanese are reticent when it comes to expressing our emotions. Reticent to be habitually silent, uncommunicative, or restrained in expressing your thoughts and feelings. It can also mean being reluctant or hesitant to do something, particularly when it involves speaking up. We prefer to show our feelings of adoration, our Suki, by appreciating the beauty of the moon. The Suki. Oh. Ah, using the Suki to express Suki. It's an amusing play on words, I see. Oh, no, or in language you might understand better. At Sholmes. All right. It's not a play on words, it's subtle. It's humble. It's fleeting and beautiful. It's art. Isn't it just being shy? Ah, my dear fellow, the foreign dancing girl will forever be out of your reach with such an attitude. Ah, imagine how the great Mr. Mori would act. He would win the lady's heart at a flash from well placed and unrestrained. I love you. That's smooth, Mr. Mori. Am I destined to live in a shell forever? Just what sort of man is he in that imagination of yours? The fact is, I just can't settle in this foggy London town with all its foreign inhabitants. I've lost count of the number of different lodgings I tried before I found myself here. As it happens, I even lived on Baker Street at one time. No, really? A Sal scholar lives near there, a man by the name of William James Craig. Oh wow, an editor of Shakespeare's plays. That's awesome. His knowledge of Sal is unsurpassed. He's been a great inspiration to me over the. Forgive the interruption, but am I supposed to be familiar with this Sal of which you speak? Sal? It's Shakespeare, of course. Shakespeare! but in Japanese we write it as sa and o. It's a phonetic representation using kanji characters. So England is Igirisu, and America is America. Oh, that's cool. Come to think of it, we use the same character as Ri in one word and Risu in another. Talk about confusing. So Shakespeare is Sao in Japanese. Presumably the Sa is a brutal attempt at the first Sha, She. In which case, what is the Shakespeare? Shakespeare. Shakespeare. I never thought of that. We only have the O left, which could, even in the most charitable interpretation, only to be only be a brutal attempt at old man. It seems to me that whoever had the job of deciding on the characters for his name got bored very early on. Complete kanji character catastrophe. A. One of these words is not like the other. K and C. Complete character catastrophe is fine, but not with kanji. It's supposed to be CCCC, not CKCC. No, no, no. Well, I know kanji is kanji. I'm just being silly. So then, on to the burning question. What about me? How do you write my name? Sorry, Herlock Sholmes, my dear fellow. There must be Japanese characters for my name. Oh dear. I am sorry, Mr. Sholmes, but none exist that I'm aware of. What? Am I really nothing to you Japanese? Oh no. In that case, it is a matter of paramount importance. You must construct my name in kanji at once. Oh, well, we could use a kanji that's pronounced so to start with, and then use one more to give. So, oh, perhaps. I think that would be about right, Mr. Sholmes. But that's almost the same as Sao, isn't it? Yes, you employ the dreaded O. I don't want people to confuse me with an old man who died centuries ago. I'm sure the world's greatest literary figure would rather not be confused with you either. Well, the world's greatest detective is still youthful and full of vigor. So how about so handsome? Oh yes, that sounds Oh yes, that sounds wonderful. Will I'm sure everyone will be calling you that 100 years from now. How can she say that with a straight face? What about me then? Iris, perhaps? Aihime, since the second character doesn't seem to matter. Aihime? Oh yes, Princess of Love. That's an adorable name for you, Iris. Oh. Stop, please, with a name like that. Mr. Mori is likely to turn up at any moment and rashly declare, I love you! This Mori-san has become quite the character in Soseki-san's mind. And you, Mr. Naruhodo, might have ventured Kurobuzo, Kurobozu, as a fitting name for you, as in the Dark Monk. Oh, that's very good. It describes you perfectly, Runo. So you think I'll be wearing this black varsity uniform for the rest of my days, do you? But Mr. Naruhodo already has a Japanese name. I don't believe he needs another. Well, anyway, we were talking about your life here in London, weren't we, Mr. Natsume? You should just get out and have fun. Oh, the landlady has said as much to me too. Mrs. Getterdeb? But it wasn't fun at all. It was frightful. Whatever do you mean? A cycle incident! An incident? On a bicycle? Oh yes, come to think of it. Yeah, I was wondering about that bicycle. There's an old bicycle parked just outside, isn't there? It's in a sorry state, though. I tried to say no to her, but she insisted I took it for a ride. Perhaps my pronunciation was wrong. So I took my life in my hands and attempted to ride the steel, spiderwebbed stallion to a nearby park. I really don't think there's anything wrong with your I really don't think there's anything wrong with your pronunciation, Mr. Natsume. Joan Gedadeb just isn't the kind of woman to take no for an answer. If you're going to die, you might as well die in beautiful surroundings, so the park was my first thought. What? After a whole day of dicing with death, I emerged with only relatively minor bruises. So you got the knock of it. Don't be silly. Dying isn't something you can learn to do. Mr. Natsume, you keep talking about dicing with death and dying and so forth, but riding a bicycle isn't supposed to be fun. Riding a bicycle is supposed to be fun. Oh no, that's just what people tell you. But it's an old wives' tale. Is it? I mean, just consider the real name of the vehicle. It's not called a dicycle for nothing. Oh god. How anyone expects to use such an aptly named vehicle to move forwards is beyond me. Pedal power promises pain. I didn't think it was possible to get worse with practice. I'm lucky to be alive! Although, I must say, after looking death in the eye of a whole week, I did at least manage to mount the steed reliably. And notwithstanding a few wobbles, I found I could make progress in the forward direction. Ah, what a triumph. Deduction is much to say. When first presented with a problem, the mental exertion of trying to solve it leads only to bitter disappointment. But after a week of picking one's way carefully along the path of reasoning and thought, one begins to see results. So, is that why all of your off-the-cuff deductions always seem half-baked? What a wonderful insight into your extraordinary mind, Mr. Sholmes. Unfortunately, after wobbling down the street, I noticed there were little stones everywhere, death traps. Not that way, I said to myself. But the wild vehicle wouldn't listen. It wobbled me on and on down the street. So of course I hit one of those deadly stones, and the crazy colt threw me. It's just my luck. Bicycles are the epitome of my pitiful life. I wish I could disagree. On the same subject, I'm sure there's a famous American author who's written about having a similar experience. Oh yes, I've read that essay too, Iris. Some of us are better read than others. Well, no more bicycles for me. Oh, Mr. Natsume, at least you have an interesting antidote to take with you back to Japan, if nothing else. You always manage to put a positive spin on things, don't you, Mr. Sato? Personally, I haven't mounted a bicycle for some time. No, me neither. That's good. So how about a jaunt? We shall all ride out together. Huh? That sounds great. I'll perch behind Mr. Sato. But, the sun is going down. It will be pitch black before long. London street lamps are very bright, you know, and the fog isn't too thick today. And my beloved... Oh, hold on. And my beloved ride is all bent out of shape. My dear fellow, if you are bound to topple the vehicle anyway, it's fitting that it's already bent out of shape. It's settled then. Come along, Mr. Natsume. Shall we go? Tsuki ga kirei desu ne. Don't tell me that's his translation of no thank you as well. Indeed, Mr. Natsume. The moon is at its most beautiful at precisely this time of the evening. Oh, we're not Japanese. You can't beat around the bush with us. What a weird and wonderful world! Yes, quite. All right, let's see. Let me just get rid of one little notification. All right. All right. Um, moving on. Episode 7 on Briarwood Road. All right. Let's check this out. A chilling escapade about a shilling's escape from the clutches of Rody and Pat Beat, who'd only just found it on the street. Gina the pickpocket is the obvious suspect, but Renosuke, Sholmes, and Iris happen to be passing, and the plot quickly thickens. Oh, this sounds cool. Here we go. Oh, I can't wait to see that one too. It's got Barack Von Zeeks. All right, here we go. Episode 7, everyone. Oh, the Snowman. 30th April, 12:20 p.m. Briar Road. Jack, do you know what today it is? April 30th? Yep. Oh, it's these people. Zah! Constable Roddy Beats reporting for duty. Thanks to the good offices of Lord Van Zeeks. I'm back on my beat here in the capital, doing my best for the good citizens of London. Zah! Oh, that's right. Yeah, I'm glad they let this dude off easy. I felt really bad for what he did, because all he wanted was just one little moment with his sweetheart. But still, tampering with evidence was still kind of very bad though. But I'm glad they like let him off with like a little warning. He didn't lose his job. The dude was really tired too. Ah, my Brody, back in this Bobby's uniform. You couldn't take it. You couldn't look any more handsome if you tried. Ah, my love, you say the sweetest things. Oh, Pat. Oh, Rowley. To us, Lord Van Zeeks isn't the Reaper of the Bailey at all. Oh, no, of course not. He's the patron saint of Bobbies. Okay. The patron saint? Oh, yes, Pat. You're so right, my darling. Keeping us in pocket he is. On my first day back at the job, what did I find in the gutter? A shilling, my love, a whole shilling. Oh, Rolly, I always believed in you. I always knew one day you'd find some big small change. With just that shilling, I could buy you a cheap bunch containing a single flower, my sugar. A single flower? Oh, how romantic. But I'm so sorry, Pat. Only moments ago, that shilling disappeared. It disappeared? But how, my love? How? I think maybe. No, I'm sure. It was this girl, Saw. You swiped my precious shilling, didn't you? You cheeky little diver. Oh no, Gina! my honestly, hands down, that's my favorite. That really is my favorite animation in this game. I love the thing she does for coin. It's so good. Blimey, you took your time getting round to me, didn't ya? I thought that lovey-dovey stuff weren't even gonna end. So, a shilling ya say, lifted from ya words. Don't know nothing about it. What's the evidence, She knows how to ace attorney. Right there. The evidence is dancing around the back of your hand, young lady. You stole it from me. You lifted it from my pocket just now. You've got a nerve stealing from a bobby. Cobblers, this coin's mine. How could you know anyway? How could you know if it was taken just now or not? Dear me, you don't get it, do you? We've hardly got a penny to our name, so that coin felt as heavy to me as a bar of gold. Eh? I'm telling you, the moment it left my pocket, I knew. I felt myself get a few pounds lighter. Ah! Yup, that coin has got my blood, sweat, and tears all over it. What's the matter with ya, Mr. Nara Odo? Huh? Me? Sorry. When a lady's in trouble, a true gent's supposed to be there to help. Straight away. Not an hour later. This isn't my fault. I haven't stolen anything. And what about you, Sholmes? I thought you were supposed to be a great detective. Dear me, Miss Lestrade. You took your time getting around to me, didn't you? I thought that long dispute was never going to end. You only said give us a minute when we spotted you over the road and said hello. And that was 10 minutes ago, Guinea. We've just been standing here listening to you quarrel with this Bobby. Do beg your pardon, madam. We shouldn't be troubling the public with police business. But that surely belongs to us, doesn't it, Brody? Of course it does, my love. It's just for you and me, my darling. Grr. This was just supposed to be a nice stroll with Iris and Mr. Sholmes for afternoon tea. Why did we have to run into another fiasco on Briar Road? I don't really see how we could be of any help, Gina. There's no way of knowing who the coin really belongs to, if it was just dropped in the gutter. I wouldn't be so sure of that, Bruno. What? I have a feeling I might know the answer to the question of whose coin it is. Ah, my bright young fellow lodger. Let us hear your deduction. Well, there's actually a reason why I suggested a stroll down Briar Road. Oh, what reason? You see, I was here yesterday, and well, I dropped a little something. So I wanted to come and look for it while enjoying an afternoon stroll. Wait, you dropped something? You don't mean... It was the pocket money that Hurley gave me. What's this, Iris? You dropped that, did you? I'm sorry. I went to the market on Lime Street yesterday to pick up some herbs, you see. But on the way, I must have dropped it. The 1 shilling coin you gave me. Aw. Oh. A 1 bob bit? Yes, and when I thought back over the routes I took, I realized I must have dropped it here. Constable, you haven't seen it, have you? It's all my pocket money, and now it's gone. Oh, well, I'm, I'm, I'm afraid I don't know anything about that, young lady. What rotten luck, dropping your money like that. Sorry. I dare say the constable and his companion could give you a run for your money with their wide eyes. If it's all the same to you, Mr. Sholmes, I think I prefer not to be used as the yardstick for looking guilty. Well, it's tough, really, ain't it, Iris? You dropped it, so it ain't yours no more. Anyway, you know what they say. What goes around comes around, so don't feel bad. Bad luck, Iris. It doesn't look like you're going to get your coin back. Oh, I can't believe I lost it. And straight after Hurley gave it to me as well. Yes, regrettably indeed. I seem to recall that particular coin was rather insignificant. What do you mean significant? To be specific, it was especially significant to you, Bruno. Significant to me? Ah, you don't mean. It was the coin for last night's wager. The very same, my dear fellow. What's this then? What wager? It was a game of poker. A duel between Hurley and Bruno. Poker? What? That tricky card game, you mean? As a lawyer, I have the perfect poker face. You'll never be able to tell what I'm thinking, said he. But depriving Mr. Naruhodo of his entire fortune was even easier than finding that missing thoroughbred. Gah, it was so infuriating. Reliving it, Gah, it was so infuriating. Reliving it now still makes me grit my teeth. Sorry, Iris, I had every intention of paying you back the money I owe you, but you'll have to wait, I'm afraid. See, I know. Don't worry. Next month is fine. Let me guess, Otto. Your whole fortune. It was one whole shilling, my entire monthly slip-in. I lost all of it. As I handed it over to Mr. Sholmes, I gritted my teeth so hard my gums started to bleed. Please, Bruno, don't exaggerate. That's a horrible image. Ow, it is. What about a lawyer who borrows money from a 10-year-old girl? Now that's a horrible image. I agree. Why do I feel like my reputation with this couple has just fallen through the floor? Ah, ha, 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 ha. There are few things more invigorating than taking a man for all he's worth. Don't be so pleased for yourself, Hurley. It's not as if Bruno ever had a chance of winning. Wow. Wait, what? What do you mean by that? Well, using that special ink I developed, anyone could. Thank you, Iris. That will do. I'm sure this conversation is proving very dull for everyone. What's done is done. The game is over now. There's no point crying over spilt milk. Hey, special ink, you say? Well, sir, that sounds like the sort of risky business that's right up my alley. Oh, Rolly, I love your dauntless spirit. You laugh in the face of danger. Come on then, Iris, spill it. What's this special ink about, eh? Ah, well, it's a what sometimes called invisible ink. All you have to do is write the suit and number on the reverse side of every card. And with the aid of some special glasses, the whole game is laid bare to you. Cheating. Cheating. They're wonderful. Wait, you were wearing glasses last night, weren't you, Mr. Sholmes? You said something along the lines of, my eyesight appears to have suddenly worsened. And the moment you failed to question that, as odd was the moment I knew I had won the game. Hi, Skador. Mind games, was it? Trying to throw me off your eccentric ways? So you're telling me Shams could see every card what auto add? What? But that's not mind games. That's blatant cheating. Yeah. My dear fellow, what an accusation. Would you honestly consider me a cheat? Please, I prefer a trickster. It's still cheating. Whatever you call it, the game doesn't count now. Understand, Mr. Sholmes? Dear me. Well, out of respect for the bad grace with which you take defeat, allow me to return your shilling. Did you hear that, Gina? So give it here. Eh? Leave me out of this. This here one ball bit was mine from the start. No question. No, sir. That there one ball bit was lifted from this here Bobby's pocket only a few minutes ago. So you keep saying. Come on then. Where's the evidence? Yeah, where's the evidence? Eh? The law, right? It's all about evidence. I know my stuff. You see, Mr. Naruhodo, use a trite excuse in court, and others will parrot it. Only whenever I do say that in court is it as a trite excuse, you know. As I said, sir, that coin has got my blood, sweat, and tears all over it. That's right, it has. Brody's blood, sweat, and tears are the evidence. Blood, you say? In that case, it's time for this. Ah, do you think? Well, if there's any trace of blood on that coin, we'll soon know about it. All right, Giddy, hold very still. Eh? What? Oh no. Ah! Look at that. See there on the coin? It's clearly changed color. In other words, there is blood on this coin. Once again, as I said, sir, that would be my blood, sweat, and tear. Oh, wait. I've seen blood turn that color before. Yes, I know whose it is. I know whose coin it is. What? The rightful owner of this blood-stained shilling is... Bruno! Huh? Me? And from the appearance of the blood, I would say it is quite fresh, left within the last 24 hours. Within the last, then in that case, so this is the coin what Sholmes and off auto last night in the poker game? Oh, Bruno, do you mean you really did make your gums bleed? I told you I was so infuriated to lose, I had to grit my teeth as I handed over the money. Blimey, you're as all up as me by the sound of it, but I thought you'd had a proper job. Come on, Gina, just hand it over, would you? The shilling? That's rightfully mine. Oh, fine, alright then. Just stop your bleeding staring. Aw. I finally have it back. It's like a dream come true. I nearly had that one in the bag and all. That's wonderful news, Bruno. I'm so happy for you. Now then, as you promised, I'd like my money back, please. The shilling I lent you before. Ah, you did say that you'd pay it back out of this month's pocket money, didn't you? Oh, yes. Well then, I suppose. My dear fellow, do be kind to your gums. Looks like that shilling was always destined to be taken from you, sir. For some reason, the phrase serves you right is floating around in my head. Sir. So, Iris, as Papa promised, here is the shilling I owe you. Oh, you're repaying me already? Oh, you're repaying me already? Well, thank you. Next month would have been fine, though. What's it all about anyway? What are you lending Otto money for? Ah, yes, well, actually, it's because I went to the Lime Street market yesterday to buy herbs. For Bruno. Herbs? For Otto? Yes, the tea Mr. Sato left behind is top quality. Gyokuro tea, but it's just so bitter. So when Ida's suggesting mixing it with some herbs to make it more palatable, I asked her to buy me some. That's right, we made a special Japanese herbal tea with the leftover Gyokuro. I'm going to call it Susie's Special Blend. I do hope you'll all try it. The excruciating bitterness clings to the throat. If you can persuade the bright green gloop to leave the cup. Why, it sounds quite delicious. Yeah, right. Well, it would appear this shilling's brief adventures are now at an end. Adventures? You must agree, my dear fellow, that the coin has made a considerable journey since last night. Let's see, originally it was the coin I was supposed to give to Iris to pay her for the herbs. But then in our poker duel last night, it passed to you, Mr. Sholmes. Who gave it to Iris's who gave it to Iris's spending money? But then I dropped it here sometime yesterday. They my beloved Rody found it a little while ago and picked it up. Before it was lifted from my pocket by this here diver. I did use my favorite gun to show up the blood that was on it. And let slip about Sholmes' little scam in his card game last night. The annulment of which resulted in the coin returning to the ownership of Mr. Naruhodo. Annulment. A legal procedure that declares a marriage null and void. Unlike a divorce, which ends a valid marriage, an annulment erases the marriage retroactively, treating it as it legally never existed. Wow. Annulment. The annulment of which resulted in the coin returning to the ownership of Mr. Naruhodo, allowing me to pay Iris the money I owed her after all, for the herbs she brought in order to make Susie's special blend tea. And now, after all that, the coin is resting safely in my pocket. Yeah, you're right. That was an adventure. But what are we supposed to take away from it, eh? That this one shilling coin belongs to Iris and Iris alone, I think. I cannot fault your observation, Mr. Naruhodo. Well, you know what they say. What goes around comes around. Why do I get the feeling that Iris knew it was coming around to her from the very beginning? Ah ha 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 ha. Priceless, as they say. Well then, my dear fellow, how about this evening we indulge in some bitter tea and a bitter rematch? I'll even allow you to stake the coming month's spending money in advance. I fold. That was silly. All right, and here we go. The final episode of the Escapades. This has got to be a good one because it's got freaking Beric von Zeeks in it. I love it. This escapade takes place in the Old Bailey courtroom where the defendant is none other than Sholmes himself, and the charge is a most mysterious murder. Bernoski naturally advocates for the defense against the unflappable Reba, Lord Van Zeeks, but Sholmes' testimony calls the true culprit of the crime into question. What? This sounds hype. Here we go. Potentially the best episode, and Sholmes is in it too. Date unknown. The Old Bailey courtroom. What? Sholmes and Gregson? This court is now in session for the trial of Mr. Herlock Sholmes. This is the most extraordinary case of murder. Counsels, I assume I may proceed? Yes, my lord. The defense is ready. Oh no. At your discretion, my lord. Count Dracula's. Very well. I hereby call on the prosecution to introduce the case. The incident in question took place 2 days ago, late at night, when the ground was blanketed with snow. The location of the incident was the residence of the accused, Mr. Herlock Sholmes. Indeed, the now famous address of number 221B Baker Street, was it? The address may have enjoyed fame once, my lord, but will henceforth endure infamy for this grim scene. Yes, sir, well put. The victim, a certain Madame Rosie, was found asphyxiated on the accused's sofa. What? My word.
Objection!
But it's unclear as to whether the victim was actually killed in the defendant's suite or not. After all, when Mr. Sholmes left the room for only a brief moment, Madame Rosie somehow vanished herself out of his room completely. Vanished herself, counsel. The victim? Quite true, my lord. There is but one adjoining door between my drawing room and kitchen. Yet, having brewed some tea in the kitchen, I returned to find the room completely empty. There is nobody else present. Ordinarily, my fellow lodger, Iris, would have been at home. However, on the day in question, she had been invited to a meeting of a scientific society in the city. I'm afraid you have a propensity for exaggeration, sir. You claim the victim vanished herself, but really, it seems to me entirely plausible that she chose to leave via the main entrance to your suite. Why, hello there, Clive's wife. Hello and welcome to my stream. Um, hey, so right now I'm going through the Escapades. I beat Great Ace Attorney Adventures for the first time ever, and I really, really liked it. So, like, back in December, um, I was like, I want to replay the Ace Attorney series, and now I'm eventually going to play 3 Ace Attorney games that I've never got to play. So I was like, I got the collections. I got all the collections, right? And then I did the thing back in December of last year. Almost Christmas means it wasn't Christmas. And that was fun. And then I'm like, ever since then, I was like, I said to myself, I'm going to play one Ace Attorney game a month, which I have been doing. So I already went through the Phoenix Wright trilogy. I went through the Apollo Justice trilogy, and then I'm like, this, like, because this gives me like, I wanted to make sure I wanted to touch up on and everything. I know this takes place in the 19th century, like way before, Phoenix Wright. And I'm like, yeah, And ever since, and then yeah, because like, so I owned this collection when it first came out back in 2021. And then I was like, yes, I'm finally so excited. I finally, I got it at full price too. I even pre-ordered it. However, during that time, I was drowning in backlog hell. I kept on playing the same stuff and I was just playing other games. And then ever since I started to get into streaming, like 2 years ago, I've been having a good time. Thanks to streaming, I got through a lot of my backlog. Not only have I been replaying some of my old favorites, but I've also been playing my backlog too. So far, as of right now, I have completed 610 games on my own stream. And yeah, this is my 610th game beaten. And then I saw that there was like Escapades. So from my understanding, they originally was DLC from the 3DS version. And it's cool that all the features are in this collection. And that's pretty cool. Like it's so cool that thank you very much. I appreciate it. So here's the dealio. After I'm done, I said so yeah, yesterday I did beat Case 5 and now I'm going through the Escapades. I'm on the final episode. Y- uh, um you have my guarantee next month I'll be doing Great Ace Attorney 2 Resolve next month. It'll be sometime in the middle of July. And then August, I'm going to be replaying the first Edgeworth game. And then in September, for the first time ever, I'll be playing the second Ace Attorney Investigations Prosecutor's Gambit. Yeah, that's what it's called. So yeah, I'm so glad that up until this point, um, I've been whatchamacallit, I've been going through the series, and it's been nice too because there's a couple of people in my community, my chat, a couple of my friends, they were like kind of living on through me, like you know, like I made one of my friends like a fan of the series, and they like to they watched me go through the games. Like with pal Chuckman 315, he's been digging it. So yeah, thank you very much. And I'm gonna do something a little special tomorrow, because man, I've been playing this wonderful game for the past 2 weeks. I've been pacing myself, because man, I was impressed with the length of most of the cases. They were pretty long. Allow me to continue now, but thank you for coming into my channel. I'm afraid you have a propensity for exaggeration, sir. You claim the victim vanished herself, but really, it seems to be entirely plausible that she chose to leave via the main entrance to your suite. As it happens, my lord, the door to the accused's room was locked at the time from the inside. Very true, Inspector. As such, I could say with considerable surety that the victim did not leave via my front door. But but what about aha, yes. She could have snuck out through a window.
Objection!
The windows in the room were not locked, it's true, and the victim had the opportunity, however. However, there was snow all around the building outside, not a patch on it had it been disturbed. Would my learned friend care to explain how the victim could have left without leaving a trail? So the victim, Madame Rosie, somehow vanished from the scene before she was killed. Uh, Naturally, I was alarmed by the sudden disappearance of my guest. So I summoned this gentleman, who resides in the attic room above my own, and we took a cab to Scotland Yard. I can confirm that the defendant called for me, and I saw his suite on my way downstairs. And yes, I'm quite sure it was empty, just as Mr. Sholmes has said. When we reached the yard, This very detective happened to be there. Ah, well, yes, you see. I was just in my office for a while, having got back from some important business. And then, having explained the situation to the inspector, we traveled back to Baker Street together. At that time, there were no footprints in the snow around the building other than the ones we made. Do I take it then, counsel, that you personally witnessed the scene where the incident took place? No, my lord. I went straight up to bed in my own room in the attic. Inspector Gregson, however, was met with a most blood-curdling sight. On Mr. Sholmes' sofa, the vanished Madame Rosie, motionless. Hmm, so the victim was already dead when you discovered her, Inspector. No, my lord, not dead, but not far off it. She mustered all her remaining strength to say these dying words, that Rotta Sholmes will be the death of me. Oh my. Ah, yes, I overheard that remark at the time, too, delivered in a rasping voice full of malice. No, those words indeed proved to be her last. The victim expired moments later, there on the sofa. The cause of death was identified as damage to the respiratory tract as a result of strangulation. Oh my god, that's awful. Nay, does the accused dare to contest the inspector's account? Certainly not. In fact, the inspector has done an unusually fine job of summarizing the salient points. Salient. Not salient. Salient means remarkably noticeable, prominent, or the most important thing about something. It describes details or features that leap out at you and demand attention. Okay. Certainly not. In fact, the inspector has done an unusually fine job of summarizing the salient points. Sholmes will be the death of me. Damning departing words indeed. In her final moments, the victim named her killer. You, Mr. Herlock Sholmes.
Objection!
Oh no. But the defendant had no reason to take the victim's life. Perhaps you could tell the court, Mr. Sholmes, who exactly this Madame Rosie was. Yeah. Ah, yes, of course. Did I never mention her to you? No. I'd extended an invitation to her that evening, though she is loquacious in the extreme. Loquacious. It means tending to talk a lot, very chatty, fluent, or fond of conversation. Okay. The most trivial of matters quickly became a quarrel. I was only too pleased to leave her presence to make tea. Great. It would appear then that the accused did in fact have a motive for silencing his eristic guest permanently. Heuristic, a style of argument that aims to win a dispute, defeat an opponent, or create conflict, rather than to discover the truth or arrive at a mutual understanding. Oh my god.
Objection!
Putting that tenacious motive aside, putting that tenuous motive aside, what about the other mysteries surrounding the court? Tenuous. Something that is flimsy, weak, or lacking solid foundation. I'm inclined to agree with the defense. There remain a number of inscrutable details. The victim's alleged disappearance and subsequent reappearance, leaving no trail footprints, for example. That's right. The crime described by the prosecution could never have happened. Yet the victim named the accused in her dying breath. It seems to me that my learned friend has overlooked a significant detail here. Nonsense. What have I overlooked? The man in the dark, the so-called great detective, all too frequently makes the following bold claim. There is no crime beyond the realms of possibility, no mystery beyond my powers of reasoning. Ah, so Mr. Sholmes, you will have no difficulty in explaining how the crime thus described could have taken place. Therefore, I propose a toast to the great detective upholding his name. But of course, were I to put my mind to the matter, the crime would immediately appear at all present to be entirely feasible. Please, Mr. Sholmes, whose side are you on? All you need to say is, no, even I can't think of a way that a crime like that could have been committed. Let the accused's admission be noted by the court. Though the crime may appear impossible to us mortals of inferior mental capacity, this man alone claims to know exactly how it was done.
Hold it!
Now hold on. That's a very fragile. Hang on. That's a very fragile argument. Thank you, counsels. I believe I've heard more than enough to proceed to my objurgation. The accused great detective did, in some inscrutable manner, willfully murder the victim, Madame Rosie. I therefore find the defendant guilty. Oh no. Sholmes got guilty? Let this man be taken from this courtroom, and in some equally inscrutable manner, be sanctioned for his crimes. Court is adjourned. Oh no. Sholmes is guilty.
Hold it!
What? You can't do that. My lord, please. The truth about the mysteries surrounding this case are known to another besides the great detective. What's this? Upon my word, Mr. Naruhodo, you are coming along wonderfully. You've deduced a fundamental truth about this case, I believe. Which would be, detective, that the truth to this case is known only to the true culprit, obviously. Is that not so, Gregson? Eh? What? Well, I suppose, yes. You don't mean, are you suggesting, Mr. Sholmes, that you have an idea as to what actually happened that night? An idea, my dear fellow. I could explain the entire incident from start to finish, with not a single detail omitted.
Objection!
It seems the detective has failed to grasp the situation. Play, Mr. Reaper. Which of us has truly failed to grasp the situation, I wonder? Then answer me this. You claim that prior to the incident, the victim suddenly vanished without a trace from your room. If so, how exactly did Madame Rosie disappear? Why, naturally, via the window. It was ajar after all. But that can't be. The room is a whole story above street level, and anyway, no prints were found in the snow. There are any number of ways one could avoid leaving tracks in the snow, surely. So such as flying, for instance. Oh no. A fatuous notion. An action idea remark as foolish, silly, and completely pointless, often in an unconscious or smug manner. It highlights a severe lack of both intelligence and awareness of reality. And to where do you propose the victim flew, Mr. Sholmes? Oh no. Flying? Is it not entirely plain to the culprit's abode, of course? For having left my suite, that is clearly where Madame Rosie was murdered. Take a moment to consider the cruel irony, if you will, by your own volition. She flew directly to her death. Oh my. Volition. By her own volition, she flew directly to her death. Oh no.
Objection!
Do you forget, detective? The victim's corpse was discovered on your own sofa. No doubt because her killer carried her back there. But what about the lack of footprints in the snow again then? There just weren't any. Other than our own, from when we returned home ourselves. If by our footprints you refer to your own and mine, you are quite right. But there were those of another. On the night in question, there was one other person who could have conveyed the victim to my sofa. What? Good gracious, to whom do you refer, sir? A man whose somewhat unavailing presence at the scene of the crime would be questioned by no one. Unavailing? Ah, you don't mean? Indeed, I do. A man who hastened to the scene directly upon direct learning of the incident at Scotland Yard. Namely, you, Inspector Gregson. Oh no. Eh? When you arrived at my address on Baker Street, you were carrying the half-dead Madame Rosie with you. You waited for a suitable opportunity and then laid the victim on my sofa. My sofa. He did what? Who is Madame Rosie?
Objection!
But we were with the inspector when we arrived. How could he possibly have been carrying the victim? We would have noticed. My dear fellow, a most obvious answer presents itself, does it not? The inspector is rarely, if ever, without his overcoat. The victim was simply conveyed in one of its many pockets. Oh no. Is Madame Rosie a bird or something? I fail to see what makes this detective great, but I can say one thing with great certainty. A human body cannot fit into the pocket of an overcoat. I agree. I believe you may all have fallen foul of a rather significant misapprehension. What? Madame Rosie was not a human. I knew it. I beg your pardon. Mr. Sholmes? Yes, Mr. Netherhodel. Something troubles you, perhaps? Whatever gives you that idea. Exactly what sort of creature was Madame Rosie? Is it not apparent already? A parakeet, of course. I knew it. A freaking bird. Huh? A most self-conceited specimen, in fact. A parakeet? She was an incessant talker, I must say. Her manner was quite intolerable at times. Wont to turn every conversation to a quarrel. I thought to strangle the creature on more than one occasion. You had a quarrel with a parakeet. Oh my god. But of course, why else would she have chosen to fly from my window so uncordily that evening? To the abode of the inspector here beside me, no less. To Inspector Gregson's abode, but why? Because that was the parakeet's home, naturally. What are you? The inspector was called away from town for some days, so it was arranged that I would look after the bird. But it would appear that she was overcome with a sudden yearning for her keeper, thus prompting her flight from my comfortable suite to the inspector's office at Scotland Yard. Well, Gregson, I believe it's high time you explained. Give us your account of what happened that night, sparing no details, of course. Oh no. Inspector Gregson, it was an accident. Oh no. I got back from being away that evening, you see. I just walked through the door of my office. I never imagined Madame Rosie would be on her way back to the yard as well. I slammed the door shut behind me just as she was trying to fly through it. Oh. So Madame Rosie, she got sandwiched between the door and the frame and fell to the floor. Oh. Never to move again because of me. Oh, it's awful. Well, I never. I had to do something. And just when I was trying to think of a plan, you fellas arrived talking about some incident at Baker Street. Ah, I had to hide Madame Rosie in a hurry. So I stuffed her in my coat pocket and got in the cab with the pair of you. Oh, it's sad. What could possibly have motivated you to behave in such a manner, Inspector? Lord Strongheart, sir. What? Lord Strongheart? Please tell me I didn't hear that right. Oh no. Lord Chief Justice. It was the Lord Chief Justice who asked me to look after the bird in the first place. Lord Chief Justice. Oh? She'd been living with the pigeons at the Supreme Court until then. But apparently the other birds had started to pick on her. Oh. So for the past 6 months or so, I've been caring for her in my office at the yard. Oh. I see. If anything happened to that bird, just imagine no pay and no time off for the rest of my career. You mark my words, that's what's gonna happen. That's why well, but the victim's dying words, Inspector. The court heard earlier that Madame Rosie spoke the name of her assailant on her deathbed. That rotter, Sholmes, will be the death of me? Indeed she did, quite uncalled for, wouldn't you agree? But those words are your true feelings, are they not, Inspector? Ugh, clearly you spoke of me often at your office in the yard, in this disparaging manner, a manner that the merry parakeet took much delight in mimicking. Well, come on, I mean, have you read this month's edition of Rand's magazine, eh? I'm sorry! This is all absolutely true? I'm surprised that Van Zieks didn't toss his cape off either here. He looks good with the cape and oh! Oh my god! This is our first time, like, seeing Van Zieks face to face here? Holy crap. This is cool. I didn't expect this. I'm glad. Uh-oh. Something wrong, Lord Van Zieks? Hmm. Ah, no. Nothing. I almost drifted off for a moment there. It's hard not to drift off when you've been kept waiting 3 hours already. I wonder if we'll manage to meet with Lord Strongheart at all today. Oh my god, he looks so cool. We may have to deliver the report on the Winterbank case that he asked for on another day. The Winterbank case! Tell me, Inspector, what became of that bird? Ah, Madame Rosie, you mean? She had a narrow escape, but she's still alive. I delivered her back here not long ago, actually, on Lord Strongheart's orders. He's hoping the pigeons will accept her now. It was something of a shock to hear that she'd been crushed on in the doorway of your office, especially as we were all under the misapprehension that Madame Rosie was a person. Uh, um, sorry about that. It was Lord Strongheart's demand that. Ah, good, you're here. Oh no, Lord Chief Justice. I apologize for my tardiness. I'm exactly 3 hours, 24 minutes, and 57 seconds late. Oh, my lord. No, no. Please don't trouble yourself. Nothing gives us greater pleasure than standing here doing nothing for hours on end. Heartening. So, let's hear it then. Your report. Oh, the birds. The Winterbank trial is concluded, but this is far from over. It seems that Dark Far Eastern lawyer and I have some shared destiny. We will meet again. Of that I have no doubt. Did you see that, Lord Von Zieks? Did you? Madame Rosie went flying off among the pigeons there. Happy as Larry she was. What? Really, Inspector? You must be relieved. Oh, so she says she didn't die? That's cool. That was totally worth it for first person Van Zieks. Hey, achievement. I did it. I did it, everybody. I did all the escapades. That was fun. I want to check the something else real quick. Yeah, the voice recitals?
Objection! Hold it! I'm sure everyone knows by now who it is. Your testimony completely contradicts the facts. Inconsistency, sir. I mean, yes, there's a clear inconsistency here.
Oh wow.
I, um, I mean, the defense demands its right to a cross-examination. I will become a lawyer. I have to. Objection!
I like this.
Objection!
Hold it! Susato Mikotoba, judicial assistant to the defense. Yes, I fully understand. I ask only for 5 minutes of time. It really is a dream come true.
Oh, hold on.
Yes, I fully understand. I ask only for 5 minutes of time. I have vital evidence to substantiate the defense's claim.
Oh wow, this is awesome.
We must solve this case, Naruhodo-san. By ourselves, if we have to.
Because I remember this originally came with the DLC episodes of the 3DS and cut music.
Prepare for a Susato takedown! Hiya!
Oh, that's cool. I like that one.
Objection!
Oh,
Now, let us engage in the art of deduction. Mr. Naruhodo. So everyone, let us begin. Sherlock Sholmes is proud to present his logic and reasoning spectacular. It would seem the truth is now tantalizingly close.
I love this.
Yes, my mind is quite made up now. There can be no other explanation that accommodates all the facts. I'm a great British consultant detective, the only one in the world. Sherlock Sholmes. I presume You must have heard of me.
He must have heard of me.
Objection!
Oh.
It's a great pleasure to meet you both. My name is Iris Wilson.
Oh.
The tea's brewed, and I have some freshly baked biscuits as well.
Oh, that sounds good.
Look, I used this. It's my latest invention. Iris Wilson is proud to present her Logic and Reasoning Spectacular.
Oh.
Susie was right. You're the best lawyer in the world.
Oh, she did say that too in case 5.
Objection!
I have faith in you, Ryunosuke Naruhodo, as a
Oh.
lawyer and as a friend.
I miss you, Kazuma.
I'm determined to bring about change in our legal system. A Japanese man's katana is his soul. This blade shows me where I need to go and cuts down anything that's in my way. Leave this to me. All you need to do is put your faith in me, and I'll do the rest.
Aw. I should have made my voice sounded like him. Ah, well. Ooh. Von Zeeks.
Objection! The quintessential look of a sacrificial lamb.
Awesome.
Lord Strongheart has told me all about you. That you're a student who arrived in London but 2 days ago. A mere amateur.
Objection! My lord, with all due respect, this is an outrage! The prosecution refuses to accept this decision.
This has gone on long enough now. This flagrant ignorance of the mechanics of law. Herlock Sholmes, you say? Yes, I've heard the name. The protagonist in a series of short stories for the vulgar classes. A god of detection or some such. The Nipponese are a truly fascinating breed.
They are, aren't they?
The quintessential look of a sacrificial lamb.
I love that line.
Objection!
That's so cool. Oh, and unused music. Oh wow, that tells you information on the right. Oh wow. It's got unused tracks. Cool. Oh wow, unused tracks of other stuff. I think I will listen to these on my own spare time here. Good stuff, good stuff. Uh, uh. Oh, nice. Wow. That's pretty cool. Oh, wow. Oh, that's for the second game, which I'll play next month. Let me see, what else is here? I'm also glad that the game kind of told the... Hello, I'm Kazuya Nuri, art director and character designer for the game. Let me show you some of the character design and scene-setting artwork produced during the development of the Great Ace Attorney Adventures. Oh, that's cool. Oh, hold on. Can I not press... Oh, nice. Here's the hero of the whole show, Ryunosuke Naruhodo. The main concern here was to strike a good balance between a period look of someone out of Meiji Japan an unbelievable ancestor of the protagonist of the main Ace Attorney games, Phoenix Wright. Oh, nice. Oh, that's cool. Hold on. Q and E. Oh, there are story spoilers in this DLC. It's recommended that you first finish both titles before proceeding. Okay. Oh, that's cool. Oh, I had to use my mouse wheel to go up and down. Oh, wow. They really go into detail on the descriptions. Oh, wow, he was originally going to have glasses on and a hat. That's pretty cool. Susato, Herlock. Ah, Barack von Zeeks. Oh my god. Miscellany. Oh, hey, nice. Special exhibit from the Vaults 1, Vaults 2. Alright. I'll definitely check out the rest of all of that when I get to the second game next month. And then there's moving pictures. The Great Special Trial. I think I'll check all these out on my own. Actually, hold on. Let me watch this one. What's the Great Special Trial? I just want to take a look. End of the Nights in such real Bailey courtroom. Oh, that's cool.
そしてそうむしろ致命的に矛盾しているのです
何をなさっているのですかなるほど様
Oh, this is cool.
須里さん見ての通りちょっと張り切っているのです
張り切って
来年発売予定の大逆転裁判で奇跡の出会いが待っているのですがその人物と今日この大法廷で一足早く会えるらしいのです日本男児としてやり手なところを見せておきたいじゃないですか
おーやる気でございますねなるほど様
でもなんだかちょっと怖いですね夜の大法廷は
先ほど見物したロンドン島恐怖展もそれは恐ろしゅうございましたから
佐藤さんロンドン中の催し物を調べ上げていますよね
明日見て回る恐怖展の予定もかっちり組み上げてありますとも
別に恐怖限定でなくてもいいと思うけどところでさっきから何か聞こえませんか
そういえばこの大法廷幽霊が出るという噂がございます
やめてくださいロンドン島恐怖展の直後でやや敏感になっていますから何者だ
なるほど。どうやら全て見えたようだ。我が名推理がささやく真実。君の正体はズバリ殺害されたイタリア人のコック長だ。
え？
自分が死んだことにも気がつかず大法廷をさまよっているとはね。え？死んだなら死んだらしくその辺に転がっているがいい。死人め。
Oh my god.
まさかあなた
What?
はあの世界的な名探偵シャーロック・ホームズ様
Oh, that's cool.
おや僕のことをご存知なのですか
もちろんでございますご活躍いつも拝見しておりますシャーロック・ホームズの冒険船便でお取り寄せして
That's cool.
処方さほんの初歩的な推理だよワトソン君
本に書いてあった通りです
ありえないことを消去すれば後に残るのは真実だけなのだよ
それも本に書いてありました
でもさっきのべらぼうな言いがかりは何なんだ
名推理と言いがかりは紙一重の運次第なのだよ。
それは本に書いてありませんでした。
どういうことですか？殺されたイタリア人のコック長って。
実にいい質問だ、コック長君。では始めるとしよう。シャーロック・ホームズの推理を。僕はね、つい先ほど電報で事件の通報を受けてここへ来たのだ。大法廷にてイタリア人コック殺害さる。
大法廷。
イタリア人。
そう、僕の完璧な読みに間違いなどありえないのさ。異国の技物、刃物といえばもうコック長に間違いない。キラリと光る五つ星は生前の腕前を物語っている。一見かなり東洋人っぽいが、地球規模で見れば気にはならない。そして背中に突き刺さったナイフ、とっくに死んでいる証拠だ。故に君はどこから見てもイタリア人で死んでいてコック長だ。
That's funny.
なんでもこの大法廷には幽霊が出るという噂らしいよ。
Uh-huh.
今の名推理、どこから見てもさっきの電報の後付けじゃないですか。
だって背中に深々と刺さっているそのナイフを見れば明らかだろ。
あ、これおもちゃです。
ロンドン東京府店の売店で大はしゃぎで
Oh my
買ってまい
god.
りました。
まさかとは思うが、今さら死んでないなんて言い出すつもりじゃないだろうね。
死んでません。
しかしイタリア人の死んだコック長でないとしたら、君は一体何者なのだ。
はい。僕は弁護士のなるほど龍之介です。大日本帝国から司法を学ぶため、この大英帝国に留学してきました。
私は御言葉すさとと申します。なるほど様をお助けする法務助手でございます。
というのは世を忍ぶ仮の姿。その正体はイタリア人のコック長という可能性はみじんもないのかな。
ありません。
ホームズ様、よろしければその電報見せていただけますか？
これは、この電報明らかに矛盾している。
え？
よく見てください。大法廷ではなく大法廷です。
Old Daily.
大法廷。
あ、そういえば裁判所の近くに大法廷というイタリア料理店があるそうです。陸軍に伝わる恐怖の大砲で焼いたピッツァが名物なのだとか。
なんだって。
そう、あなたは電報の事件現場を完璧に読み間違えたのです。
This translation. That's funny.
大英帝国の電報なのに日本語のネタってどうなんだ。
それでは今回はこの辺で。今度はゲームでお会いしましょう。
次回もそれは見事な名推理を披露させてもらおうかな。
僕だって大法廷に立って怪事件を見事料理してやります。
ではコック長君、うまいカルパッチョを所望するよ。
だから僕はイタリア人でもコック長でもありませんから。
Okay, that was cool. I gotta check these out in my spare time. That's fun. Alright. Okay, everybody. Alright, that's gonna do it for me, everybody. I just wanted to do the escapades. That was fun. I approve. Alright then. I'm gonna go and find ourselves a raid target. I think I know who I'm gonna go on out to. A rare Saturday stream as well? By one last Time Lord himself? Good sir? What? Okay, he's continuing more of his Disney game rankings. Of he's playing various games that's based off of like Disney stuff. Yeah, this dude is awesome, by the way. You gotta watch this guy. He's great. All right, everybody. I'm gonna get the raid ready. We're gonna go to Last Time Lord. This man is worth your time, so to say. Excuse me for the pun. That was totally unintentional, I assure you. All right. Now, before I head on out, it's a short list today, but hey, you know what? A short list, no matter how, you know, doesn't matter. It's fine. Like, I like to think the following. Yeah, it's better than nobody, you know? Better than nothing, right? Right. I like to think Viper Snake, Sir Cambam, Master Remastered, Chuckman, and Olive's wife, Uwu. And to anybody out there that was lurking, thank you for the lurk. I appreciate the lurk. We're gonna go out to the Last Time Lord. And tomorrow, I'm gonna tell you all what I'm gonna be doing tomorrow. Tomorrow, if nobody has nothing to do tomorrow, um, I'm gonna be playing Star Fox 64. Yes, it's time. It's time I finally stream that. I mean, what kind of a furry streamer would I not be if I would not be streaming Star Fox 64, right? Right. Yep. So join me for Star Fox 64. That's what I'll be doing. I'll be doing both paths. I'll be doing both the normal and hard routes. So look forward to that. Okay, everybody. I'm gonna get the raid ready, and here we go. Thank you all for watching. Remember to go in peace, and I'll see you in court next month. Tomorrow's Star Fox 64, and I'll be doing all kinds of other stuff. Next week will also be Delta Rune Chapter 5. So that's gonna be cool. That's gonna be on Wednesday. Looking forward to that. Another game to challenge me for my personal game of the year. And it's a toss-up between Vampire Crawlers and Beat of the Hollower. We'll see how Delta Rune Chapter 5 will challenge that for me personally. But hey, you know what? You know, games are... Video games rock.